a very long season of BOL Masters, and it all culminates tonight. TA Fear versus Go Next Gaming for the championship in a best of 5. My name is Yanni. I'm joined here by Fury, and Fury, it's going to be a heck of a series because we expected to see Go Next Gaming here based off how they did, but TA Fear, who were an early season favorite, fell behind, ended up the 5 seed, and have fought their way to the finals.
Yeah, this is a very just big battle of the underdog, right? TA Fear coming back up from the 5th seed. Go Next Gaming sat pretty comfortably in their 2nd seed the entire way through. I feel like we're kind of slept on, honestly, the entire time. I think there were big favorites like TA Fear, SDC, Dorado Gaming, really big favorites coming into this. And I think quite the upset. TA Fear coming in here at the end, looking very solid for themselves and getting right through the bans already. Done with that first phase there. Milio, Jinx, and Amumu, Draven, Twitch, and Silas. This is the patch of damage. I mean, it's crazy that mid-scope came out when it did, and now we get to see finals on it here in Masters.
Yeah, throw everything of what you knew before out the window, right? And that could make for some real chaotic gameplay here. TA Fear, Alistair, we expect them, the holy trinity of AD carries, right? Jinx, Aphelios, and Xayah, but now we're going to see them go to the Varus, even though multiple options available. I like what Fear did to ban out the Twitch and the Draven, which is something that Benhart Vance has played a lot, but gonna stick him on the Kog'Maw. There have been rumors, whispers of Kog'Maw being an excellent pick this patch, depending on what you pair him with.
I'm surprised they don't go with the Lulu Kog'Maw, though. They go for the Seraphine instead. I mean, it's an enchanter still. Doesn't quite buff him up as much as you probably like from something like a Nami or Lulu. So Seraphine, going to be an interesting choice, but TA Fear have responded in turn with the Varus Renata now here. Renata, a very good choice as well. I mean, especially right now, the only thing is there's a bug with Renata that we kind of need to keep our eyes peeled on. I don't know if it's been hotfixed yet.
Tell me more.
If Kog'Maw here buys a static Shiv and Renata ults him, and he, kills someone with static Shiv, for the rest of the game, his static Shiv is going to hurt everybody, including his own teammates.
Oh my god.
This is going to be interesting to watch, to say the least. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if they hotfixed it or not. But
so if they didn't, and it happens,
to find out.
If they didn't and it happens, what do we do?
I don't know. Basically, you just gotta watch out to see if Kog'Maw's auto attacks with static Shiv, if he buys it, starts killing his own teammates. And then if we do, then we gotta worry. But for now, I guess we're okay.
Yeah, we'll worry about that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it here. TA Fear are not entirely sold that Seraphine is going to go to the bottom lane. They ban away Lulu pretty quickly. We're going to see the junglers come out, Sejuani and Jarvan, 2 pretty staple picks throughout the season, although we could see Sejuani go to the top lane. She hasn't been nearly as popular, but not too surprised to see this pick come out from Buddha. Buddha, pretty proficient jungler. You just decide to throw him on a tank, throw him on something that can gank, and then now you just got to worry about the solo lanes. And we see a couple top laners getting taken off the board. Olaf on one side, Fiora on the other. So Go Next Gaming, they're going to have to blink first. They will have counter pick available with that Hover of Rakan. It could confirm the suspicions that this Seraphine is going mid.
Okay, I do like that. However, it could also be a Kog'Maw mid if they decide to flex that and go Seraphine Rakan bot lane.
It really could be.
I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if it's the optimal choice, but it's definitely a pick that they can go with, especially against Renata. Then you're not really worrying about the auto attacks from Seraphine and Rakan in the bot lane, at least in the 2v2, until later on. Then you got to worry about Kog'Maw if he's big, but we'll see. Other than that, I mean, Ornn getting picked up, Sejuani getting picked up, 2 big tanks. Go Next Gaming can counter with something here, because this is kind of the anti-durability patch. Everyone really should be doing or building pure damage because tanks are not really built to survive anymore with the items and chains that they have. So TA Fear have a couple scary picks with the Ornn and the Sejuani. They have frontline, but if Go Next do decide they're just going to pump out pure damage, that is going to get shredded fairly quickly. I love the Rumble pickup, though. I always love a good Rumble play. Only issue on this is they are full AP in their top side. And then Alawi. Okay, that's an interesting pick. All right.
A couple of wild card picks getting taken here for Go Next Gaming and TA Fear. I did not expect us to see B5 and R5, Rumble and Alawi, but I like the way these champions fit into the team composition, especially this Rumble, right? You drop a Rumble ultimate on top of an Ornn ultimate, it's going to deal 1,000,000 damage, but you're putting a lot of weight on the shoulders of Alistar. Now, Alistar has risen to the occasion throughout these playoffs, though. He's been pretty much spotless this entire time and has really been a big carry in their quarterfinals and semifinals rounds.
It definitely has been, and the Rumble also a good pickup into J4, right? If you ult, then you are. It's kind of a I'm not stuck in with you. You're stuck in here with me. If he drops his ult, J4 gets trapped in there. Same with Alawi. If Alawi is wanting to just stand still in the middle of her tentacles, Rumble is just going to drop that ultimate, and she's going to be forced away from it. It's one of the biggest counters you can give to her is making her walk away from her tentacles. Besides, of course, you just right-clicking in the opposite direction when she ults. That's, I think, Alawi's biggest counter that people sleep on pretty hard. Just walk away. But split pushing comps, for me, whenever I cast them, whenever I watch them, they always work because teams don't know how to play against it. So I really think the top lane matchup here is going to be significant because if Alawi starts getting ahead, if she decides she's going to build Hullbreaker, if she just is just going to keep split pushing, you're going to have to send 1 to 2 people up there depending on how Ornn is faring. And then it's just a 4v3 on the other side of the map, and GoNext would have a pretty easy time with that, I think.
Yeah, and the thing about this Alawi is that, you talked about it, this Ornn going to have to make sure they can go toe-to-toe with this Alawi, at least in the laning phase. Post-laning phase, Hullbreaker gets built. You mentioned it. You're pretty much done. It's going to be really, really difficult to stop this Alawi from doing things. But the 4v3, while GoNext Gaming does have go buttons with Rakan and Jarvan and even Seraphine to follow that up with a good ultimate, TA Fear has great ways of keeping GoNext at arm's length, right? You've got the Varus ultimate. You've got the Renata ultimate, Rumble, Sejuani, like all of these teams, it feels like there are answers in both of these compositions to what the other team wants to do. So ultimately, it's going to come down to how things go on the Rift. Who gets ganked first? Who makes a mistake first?
Absolutely. You're definitely not even close to being wrong about that. TA Fear has a very optimal, I almost just said build, a very optimal draft. Very easy to get in if they choose to do so. Very easy to disengage if they want to do that as well. You can save the Ornn ult for a disengage. You can say this is Sejuani ult for a disengage. Renata, Rumble, Varus, every single one of those. If GoNext Gaming go in, you can use any one of your 5 ults that are fully AoE and affect everybody running at you, and not worry about using all 5. They just need to communicate who it's going to be that they use, so they're not just throwing them all at the same time. But you turn around, you Varus ult, you Sejuani ult, and then that's an easy turnaround fight for TA Fear. So these 5-on-5s later on, if they do end up happening, are going to be very, very fun to watch, I think. But I also think they are going to be TA Fear favored if it is a 5-on-5. However, if GoNext Gaming are doing the thing that I think they're going to do and just sending Alawi to constantly be split pushing and trying to force a 4v3 or a 4v4, then they may have a little bit of an issue if they don't have one of their major tanks there in Ornn. But I think this could be a very, very good start to a potentially... I think we might go the full distance tonight. I think we might see 5 games.
Yeah, and I hope we do, because we get to cap off this season with a bang. But we got to get through the first game, and you know what? I'm expecting this one to be a banger. These teams clearly know what they want to accomplish. They have the tools to handle it, which means it's going to come down to your rotations. It's going to come down to your hands. It's going to come down to TA Fear versus GoNext Gaming. Game 1. We'll see you soon. Blue Otter League family, it is game one of this best of 5 series. We are hitting the rift now. This is going to be an absolute banger. TA Fear going to be on the blue side. Meanwhile, GoNext Gaming are on the red side. And one thing that we didn't really highlight, we didn't really talk about how important this matchup between the AD carries are and how important Benhart Vance is to the strategy of GoNext Gaming, given the fact that not a whole lot of lockdown for him if he can stay behind his front line. But if he manages to survive from that long range assault from the Rumble, from this Ornn, he could rip apart the tanks on TA Fear.
Yeah, we talked about as well whether or not that was actually going to be on Benhart, but ends up going into the bot lane, not mid. General Zilliana going to be on that Seraphine. But they need to be careful. Like you said, there really is no way for them to get to the back line unless they are using those ultimates. No dashes, right, except for Sejuani, but I doubt she's dashing through an entire front line to get to Kog'Maw. So it really is just a battle of the ADCs trying to rip through front line. It's Alistar trying to kill over, right? Benhart Vance trying to kill Buddha, or Severe if they're there. So ADCs, very, very important. And in the first game of finals, already showing that just with the draft style. It's crazy to see how differently draft goes after a patch, especially one as big as that is, because half of these champions we probably be seeing if not for that change.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see a couple of creative picks come in here, especially in game one of the series. You really get to set the tone early, and it's something that you expect when you're behind on death's doorstep or you're in game one to see if it works here. And really, it is a big risk for both of these sides, right? And ultimately, Fury, who do you think gets more risk out of the Rumble mid pick or the Alawi top pick?
I'll be honest, I think the Rumble mid pick. I think no matter what happens, B-Way's going to be a champion as long as he's staying in side lane. Rumble will be too, but like he'll just be an R bot at some point if he's behind. He's just going to be able to push R and that's it. Won't be able to do too much else into it. But General Zilliana should have a upper hand in the mid lane against him, just because range difference, right? Lucier's Light's got to get kind of close, and if he's doing that, then Seraphine's probably trading back pretty well.
Yeah, and Seraphine not a whole lot in the damage department, but you can see is able to wave clear decently, although this does mean that Elucidator's Light wave clear is a little bit better on the side of Rumble, so gonna get first move. You can see pings coming down into the bot lane here. Ward coming out, so they've spotted out Buddha and Elucidator's Light, but they want to get on to this Rakan here. Unable to do so, but the aggressiveness out of TA Fear coming in early.
Yeah, but that is gonna hurt Elucidator's Light a lot. Like, I get what they were going for, but you got to pay attention to wave state and where they're at there for that to really commit, because even if J4 was there too, and they would have had a decent trade, but now he's going to miss quite a bit of CS, a lot of XP. General Zilliana now will level up over him, so he's going to probably stay mid lane. I doubt he tries to go back to bot lane before pre-6.
Yeah, we'll see how hard he actually gets punished for it, though. As you can see, they've already done a lot to this Rakan down here, forcing Overrate to come on the bot side here and at least play protection. Nice ward coverage in the lane from the side of GoNext Gaming. They had a ward down closer to the opposite side turret earlier, spotting out any potential lane ganks, but Buddha long gone, just going full herbivore here.
Yeah, now Bark is going to be really low. Going to have to back there. The poking from Alistar is just too great right now. Alistar doing a really good job holding his own in the CS department against a Kog'Maw early on. Normally, that's pretty Kog'Maw favored. Later on, it should be a little bit more favored towards Benhart, depending on where they're at in the game. But I don't think we're going to be seeing too much of a change in ADC kind of level right now. I think they're always going to be pretty much even until we get a actual successful gank from a jungler here. So far, we've seen Overrate in the bot side. Didn't do too much, was just there kind of as a ward, waiting to see if he had to go in while Buddha was in the bot side, but now fighting the top side.
Yeah, Severe once in on B-Way Bennett, but Overrate going to show here. And they're just going to try to deal a little bit more damage to that soul. So again, putting some more pressure down, but the junglers have not been able to make too much happen. Overrate's first appearance in a lane at level 4. Otherwise, things are just kind of proceeding very slowly for right now. We're going to see Overrate get that top Scuttle Crab Meanwhile, Buddha is going to run into this Rakan, who will be able to hop over to the wall. So the junglers well traveled here in the early goings.
And look at that really nice vision ward behind the blue buff.
They walked over it,
Go next
too.
game, and they did walk over it, but not spotted. And now a 4v4 potentially opening up in the bot side here, and Alawi is TPing top.
Yeah, there's no ultimates available quite yet. Elucidator's Light is level 5. Overrate trying to come around from the side. They've rooted up Buddha, but the engagement is going to move forward onto Benhart Vance, who's forced into the choke. Elucidator's Light on the backside. Overrate was going to put some damage down onto him. The shielding, is that enough? There's fights on two fronts here. Rakan lives on the one side. Elucidator's Light is going to pick up first blood and got the bailout, and General Ziliana is going to fall next. They're going to burn away. It's 2 kills for the Varus. It's 2 kills for the Rumble, and it's TA Fear coming out on top early.
I can't tell if Gonex played that poorly or if TA played that just extremely well. I think Gonex went in way too early because Overrate was barely at Tribrush when they started pushing into their own jungle, and he couldn't successfully get that flank off. And I just want to say Dinosaur Chainsaw came in extremely clutch in that, though, saving Elucidator's Light the last possible second for that kill to Resin. And 4-0 start, you've got Drake now after that, and it's Mountain for your Sejuani and your Ornn. I think you come out pretty happy from that if you're TA here.
Yeah, that bailout was the difference between them getting first blood and them getting first blooded. And now you see the Hextech Alternator coming out for the Rumble, who is now level 6. That is a pretty big spike. You get a lot of early damage going on. Given the fact that we've seen Rumble go and get advantage of this wave as well, that means that they're going to be able to move around, have that long range ultimate to drop down. Buddha wants to just bother Overrate a little bit more. You see the pings coming out. You see Rumble wants to head there, looking to shade toward there while he's clearing the wave. Red buff getting lower and lower. Buddha's still down a level right now. General Ziliana not coming around to help out. The smite's going to go, and it's going to be Overrate picking that one up, but the stun's going to come down, and the red carpet rolled out for Overrate, who's burning away and will fall. Taser, taser, taser. And Elucidator's Light picks up a third, and it was 8 stacks on the Dark Seal.
There is just no way, if you're a Seraphine, you're not moving before Rumble. That is legal. General Ziliana half health after a taser there as well. But that puts a big nail in the coffin as fight in the bot side.
Dinosaur Chainsaw taking a lot of damage, but now Alistair is the target because he's a lot closer. Benhart Vance firing away, has pulled away with a Slade CS lead despite Alistair having a little bit more power early.
Yeah, well, I was trying to say there was a big nail in the coffin in the mid lane. Elucidator's Light now not going to have an issue at all walking up to General Ziliana. 3-0-2. It's a pretty substantial difference pre-10 minutes. You're talking about 3,500 gold in Rumble, 23 on Seraphine. So about a 1,300 gold difference already. You're not looking forward to that as Seraphine because now Elucidator's Light walks up, pushes Q, and basically there goes half of your health.
Yeah, and on the back foot from the word go here is Go Next Gaming. Everything they've tried to make happen has just gone against them early, and that's really frustrating when you have a champion like Jarvan on your side. Gonna need to make a play and try to get somebody ahead. We talked about B-Way Bennett on this Alawi earlier, has carved out a small CS lead, has not gotten any plates. This is really exactly what TA Fear wants in this scenario.
And I'm surprised, speaking of Overrate, we haven't seen him move as much on the J4. That's kind of been a recurring theme all split, is whenever someone plays J4, they're just not moving around the map as much as any other jungler at all, despite having one of the easiest gank setups in the world. And now, bot side, speaking of gank setup.
Looking to get aggressive, Alistair is caught in the ultimate, but Buddha is going to land the stun onto that Rakan. Rakan is low, Alistair still alive. He's got to get the bailout, and they do bail him out. And the ultimate from Elucidator's Light, they're going to be able to put out a lot of damage, unable to take out the Rakan, but another great play coming out from TA Fear.
And Dinosaur Chainsaw has just been on top of it with those bailouts. That could have been a lot more dangerous than it was. They do trade one back, but 7-1, I think is a good start if you're TA Fear. And B-Way Bennett showing how strong that Alawi can be early on, even through a Bramble Vest and a Bammy Cinder from Ornn, building pure armor already, and almost killing them. They both do need a reset, so the top lane battle hasn't been as been as luxurious as the rest of the map for TA Fear, but I think if you're not dying as an Ornn and just getting to the late game, you are in a very comfortable situation.
Especially since it appears that that's the main way for Go Next Gaming to get back into the game, right? Is get this Alawi ahead. Severe has luckily not put himself in any positions where Overrate can take advantage and is surviving these 1v1s. It's okay that he's not getting kills as long as he isn't falling. Make sure that it takes B-Way Bennett as long as possible to get online while the rest of his team continues to feast. You mentioned Dinosaur Chainsaw, big reason why things have gone well for TA Fear. You see the handshake come out. Buddha's going to come through, but ultimate comes out. Rakan going to dodge away.
Good use of that ult by Buddha. They're not going to have it for this next fight around the Drake, however, if it does even get contested. I don't really think that ult is necessary. Like we talked about earlier, they have so much lockdown around the rest of these champions, and 3-0-3 on Rumble, 3-0-2 on Varus. Really strong. I don't think you want to walk anywhere near them and contest anything, especially around a Drake when you're kind of just pushed into these chokehold. You know, Rumble's just going to drop his ultimate in the river and you are going to burn to death. He doesn't have his mythic just yet. I think he will on his next back, though. He opted for the boots to start first. And he has 9 stacks of a Dark Seal going for him right now. It's a very scary Rumble. It's a very scary Alistar who's picked up the first and only mythic so far in this game, being that Gwynsu's.
Yeah, we're going to see an objective trade come out here, but Overrate getting that Rift Herald, looking to take down this top turret, will do so much for B-Way Bennett. It is going to be first turret going over to Go Next Gaming, and so much gold in the pocket of this Alawi. You force Severe back. Yeah, you do give up the second Drake, which is Infernal, and you're going to give up a lot of plates on the bottom side here, but it's a good way of getting your main carry back into the game. You see the Black Cleaver going to get completed, as well as the Sheen. So a lot more power on this Alawi, but there's just no response on the bottom side. Go Next Gaming, they're just losing so much here. Teleporter to come out, and B-Way Bennett in the area. General Ziliana burning away. We're going to see Rakan on the backside charm up one member, but a couple of members have gone berserk. Ultimate only going to land on the one. It's B-Way Bennett, who's low, but they take out Dinosaur Chainsaw. So a 1-for-0 on top of it for Go Next Gaming to the member you didn't want the kill on.
Yeah, that was a good move by B-Way Bennett, teleporting to the bot side. I didn't see it coming. I thought he would just go straight back to the top. I hope he doesn't stay around the team for a very long time. I think the one move is fine. Get yourself a kill. Go back to the other side of the map, because now that he has taken down that top tower, he's getting close to being able to do what I was talking about earlier, and that's just stay top and send multiple people after him. Now that he has Sheen and Black Cleaver finalized, B-Way Bennett's just going to be shredding through Severe. Should be able to 1v1 him no problem. So they'll have to send 2 people topside to stop him. Which opens up the rest of the map for that 4v3 to be able to try to come back and put basically a tourniquet on the bleed that they have going for him right now. But they've softened that up to only about a 700 gold lead. It was at about 3k at one point, so not out of the woods yet. However, Rumble and Varus still very scary, skill unkilled at the same time, so that needs to be their priority, is keeping B-Way Bennett away from them.
Yeah, a much better position here for Go Next Gaming. If you're TA Fear, you have to take a look at the inventory of B-Way Bennett and be concerned, knowing that if Alawi shows up, they're still going to be strong in a fight. You know, they don't have a hull breaker. They're not going to, you know, not get any amount of bonuses or anything in a fight. So not only a split push threat, but a team fight threat, and could be what turns the game around for them. Don't see any heal cut coming out of the inventories yet, but we do see a couple of mythics coming through. Buddha wanting to make a play up here, but Overrate being up there as well means that TA Fear are going to have to try to get these turrets the hard way. You see they've shifted their mid lane, their bot lane over to mid, looking to knock that one down. But with Severe in the bot lane, that means that bot lane turret will stay up for a while, and B-Way Bennett has potential threat to make something happen. Buddha, the engagement, General Ziliana is going to get so many members, but he's going to get trapped in the Cataclysm of their own Jarvan. They're going to fall, but Overrate really wants to make this play. It's 2 for Overrate, making a third, a triple kill for the jungler of Go Next Gaming, and they are right back in it with a gold lead.
That was an absolutely massive play for Go Next there. Maybe a little bit of a falter on the side of TA Fear as well, maybe just biting off a little bit more than they can chew, trying to go for that dive on a General Ziliana. But that Encore was just clutch. 3-man under tower in the Cataclysm as well. Unfortunately, he gets locked in, but that's kind of a sacrifice that you need to make if your jungler is about to get a shutdown, and 2 other kills on top of that.
Yeah, well worth it, I'm sure. General Ziliana would be typing worth in the chat, and just felt like TA Fear, they had an advantage, and they were a little worried. They felt like they were forced to make a play after the most recent sequence went the way of Go Next Gaming, and now all of a sudden they find themselves down in gold while you have your very strong carries as well. You have to wonder if maybe they've made it so they don't have a window to try to break down these turrets anymore, or they're going to think twice.
Yeah, normally I would say when you had that kind of a lead, you're pretty set, right? You want to just farm, look for picks, get your objective, then try to end the game. For them, though, they're not at that point yet. We're only 16 minutes in. They're not really close to being able to end the game at the moment. They have a lead. It's just, I don't think, significant enough at the moment to try to end pre-20. They could have played that safe, just poked. I mean, they have Dinosaur Chainsaw and Alistar, right? You have Alistar on Varus. He just needs to throw out Qs, poke under tower, and he's chunking 25% of people's health with just the 1.5 items that he has. So they could have done this and then taken that tower. Instead, they take a very unnecessary risk. They lose a lot of gold for it. This is the first time all game they're actually down gold, despite being up in objectives as well as kills. They are going to move on to this third Drake, however. It's going to be an Ocean Soul, and that'll be really good for both teams. But you see in the top side now, B-Way Bennett shoving down this tower. They're sending Severe after him, but could be a severe misplay, and B-Way Bennett ends up killing him under tower.
And well, hopefully that won't happen if you're a TA Fear fan. And it looks like they're just going to give up the third Drake here. It's going to put them on soul point here at 17 minutes, but they're going to trade mid-turret for mid-turret. So a lot of the map now being available to both sides, but you know that Go Next Gaming is going to have to contest the next one, or they're going to have to index into Grievous Wounds.
Now Seraphine trying to open up the bot side of the map as well. Power's very low on the bots. So they're looking to start cracking this open. It's 1 tower to 2 towers now, so slight advantage over into Go Next Gaming on that front. But yeah, like you said, they're gonna need to get some heal cut. That is for sure. Nobody quite having any in their kit just yet. At least Severe has the Thorn Mail, but that's really about it. He only needs to worry about B-Way Bennett. He's not worried about any ADCs coming after him. Next up, we have a Rift Herald on the map. Looks like Go Next Gaming is happy to trade a Dragon for that. Where they drop it, though, is the question. Severe is incredibly low. That was a fight I was not expecting to happen. But I'm not sure if they're going to drop this bot or top and try to open up the map a little bit more there. But I'm sure they're going to look for some kind of fight around it.
Yeah, or they're going to want to make sure that B-Way Bennett gets a piece of the pie. Had to burn their flash, dying on the top side to Elucidator's Light, who has now picked up kill number 4 in a fully stacked Darksteel. So it means that Rift Herald play may come out a little bit later, but I like what Overeat did with the first Rift Herald play. If the second Rift Herald play yields a similar gold lead off that, it could be bad news here for TA Fear. But we'll see what he does with that later. So you just see General Ziliana just chilling out on the bottom side, and really a big sigh of relief for TA Fear to be able to take down B-Way.
That's very true. I was going to say, I don't know how he got caught, but severe misplay if he does that, because there's really no reason he should be getting caught. He outplayed Severe under his own tower. Elucidator's Light's on Rumble. He had to come all the way from base. He saw him, could have just left. I'm not sure how he got caught, but it's a very big catch. Nice one by Elucidator's Light. Like you said, fully stacked on that Dark Seals now. But if he doesn't build Medjai's, then he just doesn't have that Chad energy. I want to see that turn into a Medjai's. You shouldn't be dying anyway, right? Especially if you're building Dark Seal. The whole goal is to not die. Just build the Medjai's and continue to not die and throw your ults up. I don't really think he's at the biggest risk in the world of dying. If he just plays Arbot and melts people. We'll see if he decides to do that or not, though.
I mean, we'll lose out on a little bit of your damage from that Flame Spitter, but you are right. You can just play Arbot, and if you're strong enough at that point, everything's all good. But I do want to see Elucidators like go full anime protagonist, grab that Death Note, see what happens. B-Way Bennett really wants to take down this turret, and just more gold waiting here for the Alawi to pick up. And we've seen Severe just consistently lose ground against this Alawi as the game has gone on. You can only stop her for so long before you run into a lot of trouble. You're starting to hit that point where maybe she's getting a little too strong, but it is still early. You still have strong members to be able to deal with it. See a couple of pings go down on the top side here. It's just a little bit of a Baron jockeying for position. And it looks like Go Next is okay with that because they know what B-Way Bennett can do on the bottom side.
Exactly. I was going to say he's putting so much pressure on the bottom side that is kind of forcing TA Fear to make a play, right? They need to do something on the other side of the map. Thing is, though, I do think they win that 4v4, and a nice catch coming through potentially. No, Overrate gets away from that ultimate. Elucidator's like getting pushed off the Baron because he started tanking. They're about half health now. I don't really think they win a solid 4-on-4 right now, though, because of how strong Alistar and Elucidator's Light are. But the fact that they're making plays around the other side of the map, they're forcing TA Fear to try to do something, is a good move by them. They're dropping this Herald. I'm not sure where it's going to start walking to. Looks like mid. I imagine they're going to have to try to walk with it here. But they're forcing themselves into a 4-on-4.
Yeah, I think it would be a little bit more interesting to see them split the map with it, try to take out that top turret, but I don't know if it's even going to get a charge off. Alistair just completely untouched, ripping it away. The squad is going to back off here. Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds. That Rift Herald bearing no fruit. We see B-Way Bennett trying to get a back off here to try and get a reset, but again, you mentioned it, stopped. And we're seeing that Jack Show come out for the Ornn, so lots of strength available here. This fight happening in 25 seconds, and it is a big fight here for Go Next Gaming. They have to win it, or else they're going to be staring down an Ocean Soul, and then Alawi's not going to be able to get any ground here. It looks like they're going to continue the back, so they're going to have to start walking back or take the TP, which they will TP, but the inside track coming out here in the mid lane for TA Fear. Benhart Vance has to stay in the mid lane. Buddha looking for a pretty creative angle here. B-Way Bennett Overrate over the now in the front line. Gets rooted up. Here comes the ultimate for Seraphine. Gonna charm a couple, but a lot of people going berserk. Ultimate Call of Force got this so much. It's a shutdown onto that Rumble though. So do they have the rest of the damage? Alistair, relatively untouched, is going to be able to dump out damage with reckless abandon. Overrate trying to get on top of him, trying to get everybody away from Benhart Vance, but he's gonna run scared, and he's gonna meet a grim fate. A shutdown for Alistair, a 4-for-1 in favor of TA Fear, and they get an Ocean Soul as the prize.
It's gonna be a 23-minute Soul. They go flush, they sweep them with all four coming out here. Very, very nice setup around these Drakes for TA Fear. A very bad play by Go Next Gaming. A way too early TP into the river while Kog'Maw is still trying to push out the mid wave, and the rest of his team is behind the blue buff. So B-Way Bennett had no way to set anything up there. They had to wait until TA Fear started that so that they can try to get them all in the choke for that, just the big ultimates, right? B-Way Bennett Overrate stacking the ultimate with General Ziliana, and then Benhart Vance can just freely hit. Instead, they go in way too early. They try to be the ones to initiate that fight despite being behind. TA Fear come out massive in that one. They get their own gold lead back here, 4 Drakes to none. They are still behind in terms of turrets, however. We'll see what happens when B-Way Bennett goes back to split pushing.
Well, the good news is they shouldn't have any problem knocking them down now. So you can see 2 items on your carries, 2 items on your tank Sejuani, and just not enough coming out from the other side here. Although, you know, 2 items on Benhart Vance, there is still time, right? It's not over yet for the side of Go Next Gaming, but it's not looking too hot, right? You're not going to be able to get this Kog'Maw online before you're going to see an Elder Dragon spawn. So love to see how the game progresses over the next couple of minutes here, because it looks like it is TA Fear in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and the only thing B-Way Bennett can do is try to, you know, keep Severe just in lane with him. The only problem is Bennett has no form of CC. He's not going to be away from this stop a TP if Severe decides to do it. He's just going to be able to do it and get away with it. So it could turn a 4v4 into a 5v4 very quickly.
Oh man,
B-Way is actually getting absolutely chunked. Yeah, Severe's just healing through it.
Yeah, and there's nothing that B-Way Bennett can do anymore, and now he's looking for the 1v1 here. You know, ultimate from Malawi be damned. You see wailing on Severe here, evening out the health totals, but it doesn't matter. Severe just able to sustain up and is much happier with the way the game has gone than he was earlier, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was not a good sign watching that unfold.
A
Upgraded
bad
Jack
omen,
shows.
one might call
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You'd definitely say that'd be a bad omen. He's up in CS, but watching that fight, it kind of just starts to spell out the doom for Go Next in the first game here. Your one saving grace, really, besides Kog'Maw getting big before Drake, which, like you said, probably isn't going to happen, is the fact that Alawi can just side lane, but they are just taking Baron. I don't think that this is going to be stolen or
Overrate's going to
solidly
certainly
contested.
try. Knows that he's got to try to fight away in there. They're going to wisely pull off. Ultimately going to come down. Benhart Vance was caught out in the flash. They stick it on this Kog'Maw, and it's a shutdown for the Rumble. And now they're going to go after the Seraphine. She's gone berserk. She's gone back to the base. A 3-0, and the Baron going to be resumed here, as it looks like TA Fear is ready to end this game.
I'm sorry, but what was Benhart Vance trying to do? I mean, he saw his jungle on the other side of the wall going for a steal, and he just decided he was going to walk face first and pull 5 members off that Baron and get killed. Overrate probably just going to go down behind it here. Buddha and Severe taking their time to kill and playing with their food, and that is going to be the Baron going over to TA Fear.
TA Fear firmly in the driver's seat. B-Way Bennett going to do whatever they can to try to get something back on the map. That mid-inner turret certainly going to give them a little bit of gold in their pocket, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. And heck, they're going to get run down by Severe here. Blast Plant might be able to get them out if they want to go for it. But Severe knows he can fight now. He's in hot pursuit.
Ult too.
This
no, he doesn't have ult.
All right, this Ornn really wanted to get some revenge for what happened in the early game, as he got smacked around a little bit, but has hung tough. Just like TA Fear has hung tough all playoffs, a 6-1 playoff record, looking to add another one and hopefully 3 in total to their ledger.
And you look at the score lines right now, you'll Severe 0-0-0 pretty much all game. Now 2-0-6. 8 kill participation compared to B.O. Bennett's 2-2 overall. In terms of gold, he's still down, but it doesn't really matter because he is ahead. Like, there's just no way you're going to kill him as anybody, really. Executioner's Calling coming through from Benhart Vance now. So there's at least a little bit of tank shredding on him. I'm not sure if he's going for the LDR or Mortal Reminder. But we'll find out here shortly, potentially, if he is able to actually finish it. Because now they're missing another mid lane tower. The siege coming through. Looks like just a 5-man down the mid lane.
Yeah, and there's plenty of engagement available, right? We talked about it. Everybody on the side of TA Fear can start a fight. Buddha playing well with vision. They've caught him out. The Rumble Ultimate ripping them apart. And this is all TA Fear, baby. Benhart Vance, the last one alive, but Alistair is gonna run him down. It is an ace, and it is TA Fear taking a 1-0 lead in the grand finals.
So if you were paying attention in that fight, you saw B-Way Bennett channel a TP, and during that TP channel, TA Fear realized,
I just didn't see him anymore.
Nope, TA Fear realized, hey, it's a 5v4 now because their top laner's TPing. Let's just kill these guys, and they just did it. That TP might have cemented the loss for Go Next Gaming. I mean, I think it was going to
it wasn't looking too good anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't an if, it was a when. And I think B.O. Bennett said, hey, let's go next. And
call him Go Next Gaming.
Called it, and that was it.
Hey, listen, you know, maybe if they don't get blown up in that 5v4, or they're able to do a little bit more damage, or, you know, at least elongate the game a little bit, maybe B.O. Bennett gets a little bit of value there. Maybe it was the only way that they saw that they had a chance. But TA Fear, I mean, other than that one miscue in the mid lane, they looked pretty damn good all game.
They really did. There was really no stopping them. You know, like you said, other than that one little blunder that they had where they ended up down about 600, 700 gold. They were up the entire time. Their biggest lead at the beginning of the game was about 3,000, 3,500 or so, and they ran with it the entire time. You know, every team's gonna have those blunders, but TA Fear looked very, very solid this game, and I would be surprised if we don't see something similar to that in the next game.
TA Fear, a team that we doubted after a strong start to the season. They were leaking oil as they headed into the playoffs. I thought they were the best team in the league. They finished as the 5th seed, but they are showing why my initial prediction may have been correct. We're going to take a very short break as the teams are going to get back into lobby, going to build some strategy, and when we return, we'll give you the Game 2 draft between the 1-0 TA Fear and Go Next Gaming, still looking for their first win of the set. Welcome back, Blue Otter League family. We are back once again. We're going to be getting into the Game 2 draft very shortly between TA Fear and Go Next Gaming and Fury. We talked about how we liked both of the drafts, but we saw the flaws in Go Next Gaming strategy. There were opportunities for TA Fear to take advantage, and boy, did they.
Yeah, TA Fear walk away with a very solid game 1. Looking really good going into game number 2. Go Next Gaming has a lot to change going into this, I think. They need to change the draft style. I think they need a front line. Probably less split pushing. I like the vision of what they were doing. However, if you're putting your eggs into the basket of a split pusher, you need to be playing safe around the rest of the map. You can't be losing your 1v1s and your 2v2s in mid and bot side, or else the whole plan goes out the window. And BO Bennett can no longer keep your team afloat. So we'll see what ends up happening. Nothing really changing yet except for that Renata ban.
Yeah, that meant that Jinx was available, and it looks like Alistair did not want the Jinx, opts into the Varus. So that's a pretty interesting decision here of him to go away from the champion he's had so much success on in the playoffs. And this is something that we didn't really get to touch on because of the Kog'Maw pick being so out there, that Benhart Vance likes to play a lot of less popular picks. Obviously, Kog'Maw getting at least a little bit of popularity on this patch. Still too early to tell where he's going to shake out in the meta, but Jhin is something that Benhart Vance always loves to play. Tried and true, going to opt into that this game with a Gwen to pair up in the top lane.
So I think I understand why they're picking Gwen. And it's probably because they don't want to ban Ornn, despite the fact that I think they have to. I don't think you just let Ornn through. He pushes R, disrupts your entire team. Severe's notoriously good on the Ornn as well. It's just like leaving someone's one trick up almost. It's like not disrespectful, but like I think you're downplaying it a lot if you're trying to just go like, all right, I'm just gonna pick the counter pickup into that matchup, because it could still go wrong. So Gragas picked up in turn. Not sure if that's going to be jungle. I mean, that could be jungle, that could be mid, that could be top. Nautilus.
We're still not sure where that's going to go either.
Yeah, I was going to say Nautilus, that could be Mid, that could be
That
support,
could be
that could be
anything
jungle.
except for AD carry, to be quite honest with you. For those who have not been watching the mid-season invitational, Nautilus took over that tournament in 3 different roles: mid, jungle, and as a support. And I mean, you know, everybody makes the joke, coming to a solo game near you. Well, coming to a competitive game near you, as Nautilus is going to be the pickup. We're going to see Xerath go to the side of Go Next Gaming. That champion has been a sight for sore eyes. And, you know, a lot of questions on whether or not it can go mid or support, but no question in the damage it can deal from a range.
I was going to say, I think that might be a support Xerath.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Because Jhin Xerath is a really dangerous kill lane in the bot lane if it works out well. I mean, if that's Nautilus support, it's going to be a little bit hard because you're just going to get grabbed and killed on cooldown. But TA Fear moving to the next wave of bans as J4 getting hovered. Rumble, not going to be seeing that again. Go Next Game has decided they don't want to see that, and TA Fear has decided to get rid of that J4.
Yeah, and, you know, taking some junglers off the board here could be a smokescreen signal that TA Fear is like, oh, hey, we already have our jungler. This is why we're banning some. Maybe not. You know, it really depends. There's a lot of options that you have here if you're TA Fear, but you need to make sure that you are going to bring some more damage with you if none of your picks here are going into the jungle, right? You can't just have Varus along with Gragas Nautilus as your top mid bot selection. It's just not going to do enough.
Right, yeah, it's damage, but it's going to be mainly AP damage. You know, Varus will be doing a hybrid, but it will be mainly AP.
And it's not going to be enough either.
It's not going to be what? Sorry?
It's not going to be enough either.
Oh,
it's
no,
not,
definitely not.
Certainly not. Although, not a lot in the way of health bars on the side of Go Next Gaming.
I was going to say.
Yeah, and it looks like
difference. They don't have any tanks.
Yeah, and they're still going away from the tanks here, but we're going to see Kiana get selected as well. So things are really getting spicy for Go Next Gaming. In game 1, certainly, you know, throwing the Alawi in, certainly a surprise, but down 1-0 in the series, bringing stuff like this is a huge risk.
I was going to say, after the first loss, you usually go back to what you're comfortable with, right? You go, okay, we tried something crazy in the first game, threw them off their guard, we won, now we can continue to do that, or we can go back to something else. They have decided that they want to basically do what they did in the last game and just throw all of their eggs into every basket possible and say, hey, everyone's going to be a carry. We're not going to pick any tanks, and now they're into a full AP team with no tanks. And that is not a great situation to be in. Kiana, I'm imagining, is going to be in the jungle, and they're saving mid pick for us, if not, and they're saving jungle for last. I think that's crazy.
Oh my god,
but,
these compositions are getting weird.
Sion.
Yeah,
so who's going where now? Sion
mid
or Sion
they locked
jungle?
it in. I couldn't tell you. I've heard again that potentially Kiana jungle is a thing. Like,
Kiana jungle's fine, but
yeah, I don't know. Gwen was originally a jungler back in the day. She saw a lot of nerfs there, but I mean, it's still something you could try if you're really feeling it. Honestly, Fury, I have more questions than answers after all of these champions have been picked. The only thing that I want to say is I really like TA Fear. That little smoke screen, banning out junglers and then going to lock up a jungler themselves. Still, we don't know where this Gragas is going to go.
I can only imagine it's Varus, not bot, Gragas mid, Malphite top, Sejuani jungle. That is my guess.
I mean, I'm pretty sure
for Go Next, I
could see Gragas or not split, or not split but swap. But Go Next Gaming, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, man. At this point, it could be Xerath jungle for all I know, and I would, I probably not. I think
hope my only sure is that it's Jhin Xerath bot lane.
Yeah,
everyone else.
We're hoping. Here's hoping. It could be Jhin Sion bot. Who knows, man?
That's very true.
We got so many questions, man.
I don't know what's going on. I'm very excited for this. I'm a little bit wary on behalf of Go Next Gaming, though, however, because if this one ends up a loss, then they are one game away from being swept. And that's not a position you want to put yourself in.
No, not at all. We have seen a couple reverse sweeps in the BOL playoffs as a whole, across all of your leagues here. But I mean, at the risk of getting in trouble for this, Go Next Gaming, this is a live fast, eat ass team composition here, baby. They are going for all damage except for your one tank in the Sion, and they are looking to play fast. The problem is, do they have enough to be able to take on the burlier members of TA Fear, which is everybody except for Varus?
Yeah, that's the only issue, right? I mean, they have solved one issue from last game, and that's there was really no easy way of getting to the back line. J4 was realistically the only one that could do so. Now they have Kiana, and Kiana can look for very good flanks, and not even just flanks. If she has grass augment, she goes in, she's going to be invisible in the middle of a fight, and then she could pick and choose her targets from there, look for big ultimates. Whether or not that happens, though, because we saw what happened in the last game. They tried to play Seraphine, look for poke, and just kind of win through that way, but Elucidator's Light came out with 3 kills in less than 10 minutes, and that kind of solidified the game. So if Elucidator's Light, I don't think he's going to be getting any kills pre-6. Once he does hit 6, you better be spam pinging your team or just shouting in comms that he's missing anytime you don't see him, because you know he's just going bot.
Yeah, and he's going to show up. He is going to look for those 2 pretty easy kills. Jhin, Xerath, immobile champions. Listen, if you're going full tank, the Malphite ultimate, it still does a lot of damage to these champions that don't have a lot of health right now. We have seen the champions get selected here in the client. I'm waiting for maybe a last second swap or 2 to come through. But as of right now, it looks like it is Gragas versus Gwen in the jungle and Malphite versus Kiana in the mid lane. And it's Sejuani up in the top side against the Scions. So a lot of craziness really coming around from TA Fear, getting a lot of swaps in. But the big thing is going to be Gwen jungle for over 8 on the side of Go Next Gaming. That one is going to be something that we are going to have to watch as the game progresses. We're going to take a very short break because it's the only way the game can actually progress, as we are in the spectator delay. And when we return, it'll be game 2 of a real chaotic composition going head to head, TA Fear and Go Next Gaming. We'll see you soon. All right, everybody. I mean, what a weird draft this was, Fury. This is something else, man. Again, I don't know what to say other than I want to see what happens here. Game 2, TA Fear still on the blue side. Go Next Gaming. Gonna go back to the red side again. Listen, everybody is just in different roles that we did not expect. The big one, though, being that Gwen returning to the jungle. Haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, this is not my favorite draft. I think this is, oh man, this is going to be interesting. We're going to see 5-on-5 at the beginning of the game. I'm not going to say anything until I know for a fact that this is not going to continue, and it's not. Okay. I think I'm going to say something crazy, and
Okay.
maybe
Let's
it's
hear it.
a hot
Cool.
take. This is the worst draft we've seen all split.
Oh my god. That is a scorching hot take.
Sion is a tank. Gwen is wanting to be in the front and shred through tanks, but how is she going to do that when there's 3 of them, and then a Varus that's going to be free hitting? Kiana, later on in the game, isn't going to do much damage at all. You know, assassins do great when there's 2, 3 squishies on the team. There is one and a half if you want to count Gragas as a pseudo squishy.
Depends on what he builds.
Exactly. And then Jhin is Jhin. He doesn't do damage to tanks. That's just not a thing. He's not going to chew through anybody. They need DPS, and they don't have DPS. So I'm very, very worried for Go Next. This is a game they need to get a lead by like 10 minutes. They need to do what TA Fear did in the last game. Get like 6 kills early, and then they need to try to end the game at like 20-25. The second that is gone, that's their win gone. It's over. It's done. Genuinely, I don't think there's a way they can get back into the game if they're not ahead by that time.
The good news for Go Next Gaming is their lanes are pretty strong, but the good news for TA Fear is they got Buddha on their squad. First blood for the best dang AD carry in the league.
Who'd have thought that the lane with no movement at all would be the first to get ganked, and they end up getting killed. Buddha with a very nice belly flop flash there to help secure that kill on to Bark Bark Woof Woof Awoo. No sums used at all except for Alistar's ghost, and then the flash from Buddha, but I think that's fine to help secure the kill. But nothing used on the side of Go Nexus. Severe and B-Way Bennett just kind of wet noodle fighting in the top side.
I'm astounded at how fast you said that and how clear it was. Those wet noodle fights, though, that noodle might be frozen with some ice in it because, you know, Severe, no flash, has that ignite. Actually does have kill pressure on B-Way Bennett. The way the lane has been going. You see a hook land on the bottom side. Alistair going to get exhausted. They're going to try to turn it around on him. Flash forced out there. So a good rebuff there by the bottom side of Go Next Gaming. Severe is ready to get a kill. A solo Bolo exacting some revenge from the early game of game 1.
Oh, not only that, Bark Bark forced to flash away after Dinosaur lands that hook, and they're still fighting.
Vance is in trouble.
What is he doing?
He had flash available.
Oh my god.
But it's another kill in the bot lane for Alistair. And TA Fear, I was concerned that their lanes were a little bit weaker than compared to the lanes on the other side. But they just don't care, man. They are playing with reckless abandon.
Yeah, that's not a fight that had to happen. There should be no reason Ben Hart dies there. I'm sorry if I sound far away.
You do.
My dog wanted to come in my room. I had to open the door.
Bro, you said bark, bark, woof, a woo. Like, what did you expect?
Genuinely, I said bark, bark in that second fight, and then he started whining outside my door. But yeah, he didn't need to be in that fight, and he had
the ancient tongues.
How dare you quote the ancient magics to me? Now, TA Fear are so far ahead, man. 1,000 gold lead at 3-5 minutes. I don't know if like people really pay attention to gold leads and things like that in their solo queue games, things like that. Like 1,000 gold pre-5 is actually a lot of gold being invested in the TA Fear already. I mean, Elucidator's Light's behind in CS, but that doesn't matter. He's Malphite. He's not looking at CS. He's waiting to hit 6, and he's letting General Zilliana do whatever he wants to do mid, while he goes bot and constantly just stomps Ben Hart and Bark Bark with the help of his team. So this is going to be very, very interesting to watch the next 5 minutes even go down. I think a lot's going to happen very soon because everyone's about to hit their spikes. Buddha not quite there yet. Alistar should be there soonish now because he's 2-0 with a 13 CS lead. And a very good freeze going for him right now as well.
Feeling good if you're on the side of TA Fear, and the composition much burlier than the last one, but also with about as much CC, heck, maybe even more. All of these members able to provide really good CC. See General Ziliana get down here, but there's nothing too much they can do here. Bark, bark, wolf, awoo is about to howl with the wolves, howling in pain. It's a third kill for Alistair. And again, pouring resources into the bottom lane of TA Fear, and the Dragon getting started by Buddha.
That's going to escalate to a 2k gold lead after only 1 kill gets passed over there. It's the matter of the fact that they have CS. They're getting giant leads around the map. They're about to get their first Drake. It's going to be Air, which is not my favorite. Severe. Another solo BOL on the top side, man. It's the Ignite, which I just realized that he took. I thought he took Flash. He took Ignite and has gotten 2 kills with it.
On cooldown, gets him again. And things are just going so well for TA Fear. But remember, things were going very similarly in game 1, and they had that little play at the mid lane turret that allowed an opportunity for Go Next Gaming to get back into it. So the game is certainly never over. There could be opportunities later for Go Next Gaming to find a way in, but if TA Fear correct their mistakes from game 1, I can't see how there's any other way this game could go. They're just looking so sharp here.
Especially when Elucidator's like is standing underneath the tower and just doing this
the
for
Buddha
free,
belly bump,
and then
baby.
this in the bot lane. Man, they are just Dinosaur Chainsaw has been on one tonight. With the handshakes, with the bailouts, with the dredge lines just landing on cooldown. TA Fear somehow look even better this game than they did in the last one.
Oh man, they look better than they did last week too. They really hit their stride around the playoffs, striking fear in the Blue Otter League Masters. And oh no, he completed the back. Benhart Vance gonna have to flash away. Will be able to survive for right now. Over 8 has not been able to do anything. Now Gwen Jungle is a notorious farming jungler here, but the team being so far behind, it's starting to become problematic.
Gwen Jungle is certainly something. It's one of the picks of all time, that is sure. I don't like it.
Hold on. All right, listen.
I think there are better junglers.
I was talking to a friend of mine who is a collegiate coach in the scene right now for one of the premier collegiate teams. And he, when I talked to him about it, he's like, Gwen Jungle might not be that bad with the item changes. So we'll have to see how the build progresses throughout the game. The problem is if you're so far behind, you're never gonna find out.
That's true, and I mean it can work. Sure, items are good. It's just
I
pure
hope we
damage,
get to
but
see it.
This matchup, I'm not sure. Oh,
Yeah.
Dinosaur Chainsaw.
Oh, Dinosaur Chainsaw is down, but Alistair, that exhaust is going to wear off, and he has now turned his sights on the Bernhardt
Alistair
Vance.
doesn't care.
You see, he's trying to sidestep around, but he does have Flash available. He could try to make a play here, getting hit up by Bernhardt Vance, and he will trade there, almost killing him before that 4th shot goes off. But Alistair going to save the Flash. What a big shutdown for Bernhardt Vance. And what a surprise, the kill score, 7-2, which we saw again in game 1.
Right back at it.
Just a little bit earlier than last time. I think this kill score was at like 13 minutes last time.
Yeah.
So just playing at a breakneck pace here.
This, I don't know how that happens, man. It's a 1v2. Alistair just pretended Benhart wasn't there for about 10 seconds while he hit Bark, decided he was going to go on to Benhart, and then got a kill in a 1v2 situation. That is, I talked about it last game with Alawi fighting the one-on-one and losing against Severe. But this is a much earlier way of saying, this is a sign of the times.
They're cyberbullying this man, but let's see if Over 8 can shine here. Look at the damage he does to Severe. There might be an opportunity here. They are going to be able to pick him up. Now can he kill Buddha is the question. The stun goes out. The flash. And Buddha brings down the cask. And it ends up being a 2-for-1 up top. But guess what? General Ziliana fell in the mid lane as well. It's just TA Fear, baby.
Yeah, that's the big issue with these crazy picks. You're blinding Gwen early, you're picking Kiana, which isn't necessarily bad. I think Assassins are in a really good place right now, but into what TA Fear are playing, Elucidator's Light is just running over Zilliana now. 1-0-1. He's winning in CS despite being down earlier. He has plated steel caps, and that is it. And he's getting solo kills and pushing Zilliana out, who has full lethality. So now that he has items, he bought Sheen, and he has another chain vest here. So I don't know, man. Lucidier's Light's just gonna get scarier and scarier, and bot lane here, Alistar's gonna get scarier and scarier.
Hear me out. A wise man once said, Malphite doesn't do anything. If you know, you know. But the problem is, this Malphite is doing things in this game, and we haven't even seen the Malphite hit a multi-man ultimate yet. It's going to get worse for Go Next Gaming. It's just everything that is supplied down here. General Zilliana, though, looking to finally make a play here, and Go Next Gaming are going to get one in their back pocket.
So that's what you want to see. You would like to see that on Alistar and not on Dinosaur Chainsaw.
Hey, you'll take it.
But now they will, yeah, they'll take that. It kind of opens up the Drake. However, I don't know that I would still start it because Lucidier's Light is way too scary. You can't start in these chokes. You can't start Rift Hill. You can't start Drake. You can't start Baron. You need to let them start it so that you're not just getting blown up by Severe, Buddha, and Lucidier's Light in the middle of a choke like that. So now it looks like TA Fear, they're going to move on to this Drake here. Good amount of damage.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Beautiful combo coming out from Arc. That was top tier Zareth play right there. The full combo landing.
Now he's going to turn on the Buddha. Buddha's going to be able to take the Drake, but Overrate is here. So is Elucidator's Light. The damage is coming out. Overrate trying to get onto Buddha, but gets just blown up, man. This Zareth is going to be the next target. He's going to get hit with a cheese wheel in just a moment. Exhaust be damned. And Bernhard Vance falls as well. It is 3 more kills going over to TA Fear. It's another dragon going over to TA Fear. And it's looking like another game could be going over to TA Fear.
Now Zilliana trying to run away from that Severe and Lucidier's Light. 2 tanks. And I think that's one of the scariest things to see if you're a assassin is 2 tanks running at you in your lane because you can't do anything. Lucidier's Light with a very iffy play, and that one a little bit of a misstep. We saw him use ultimate, then flash back to try to finish off Bark. I don't think he had to flash there. I think it was just a little bit greedy in my book. But, I mean, realistically, where he is now, does he need it? B-Way Bennett can't farm, which is unfortunate, despite the fact that he's pushing. I don't know why he's pushing and not trying to let this freeze towards him, because now he can't do anything. Severe has Ignite up yet again. He's got Heart Steel, 29 stacks on it already.
Tier as well.
This is looking dangerous for GoNX. It's a 4K gold lead pre-15.
Yeah, now the good news is, for the side of TA Fear, you see the gold lead, and I'm sorry, the side of GoNext Gaming, they do have a lot of scaling on their side, right? You know, you're going to see a lot of scaling come out from this Gwen, and if this Gwen hits a point where she's nigh unkillable or doesn't take nearly as much damage, she should be okay, but the gold disparity is just too great. It's, you know, 1,200 in the jungle, it's 1,300 in the mid lane, and it's 1,400 in the bot lane, and that is going to be really hard for GoNext Gaming to overcome.
Although we do see Overrate waiting in the bushes. I think they're kind of waiting for Dinosaur Chainsaw to hit something.
Yeah, Dinosaur Chainsaw is going to hit that hook, but Overrate looking to rip him apart. That kill is going to go over to the Zareth. The cast over the wall. Going to knock Bernhard Vance to the side, but the ultimates here, they're bearing down onto Alistair, who is going to fall. It's another kill for Overrate. So GoNext Gaming with a pulse here, 14 minutes in.
Yeah, Alistar getting a little bit too greedy there, trying to finish off Bark. Not sure why. He probably could have gotten out of that fight because he hit 3 man with his ultimate. He could have been out. Got a little bit greedy. Ended up going down. Now TP to the bot side after the... It's hard to dive Buddha. It's very hard to dive a Gragas. He's got so much CC and just... He can completely just push you away. He can lock one person on the tower with him. But they do get... Lucidier's Light's TP out of it, so that's worth at least something there, but he has made his way back into the mid lane, and General Zilliana taking a decent chunk of health from that 1 Q.
You know what? We're seeing kills go over to Bark Woofa-Woo, right? And typically you're pretty upset if your support's getting kills, but here it's actually kind of beneficial, right? You see this Malphite obviously indexing into full armor here. Sejuani doesn't have any magic resistance. You have to see Dinosaur Chainsaw has to pick some up, so if, you know, you see the damage that Zareth was doing in that last fight. Like, this is not something that you can ignore right now. So it is a key factor in potentially finding a way back into the game here for the side of Go Next Gaming.
And now B-Way up on the top side. He's 0-3, but able to stay ahead quite a bit in terms of farm over Severe, which I don't really know if it matters too much when Sejuani already has 3 kills at this point in the game, but it'll certainly help for later on. Looks like TA Fear moving on to this Rift Herald now. Mountain Drake, the first of our souls in game number 2. That's going to be coming up here in about a minute. So we'll see if TA Fear are able to continue their streak of picking up these objectives. You know, they had 4 Drakes in the last game. We'll see if they're able to do that again. If they do, it's going to be very scary going into the late game. But here comes that kill lane. Alistair, here they go down. That nice curtain call coming through from Ben Howard Vance. That's the layering of Rite of Arcane. Good pick under tower there.
Huge, by the way, and now we're seeing General Ziliana come down to the bottom side potentially for a dive. Meanwhile, on the top side, Overraid is here, and again, the tank shredding, it's possible, and they're going to be able to get the kill. Buddha the next target, but a great ultimate to knock him away. Meanwhile, the bottom side, General Ziliana ends up claiming a kill, and TA Fear looking to maybe make a play. Elucidator's laid a 3-man ultimate, but they do exhaust him up. That turret not going to be able to help him out for too much longer. They're trying to keep him at arm's length and nobody there to follow it up. So Go Next Gaming, get their kills and get out, looking to build a way back in.
So here's the thing. This is where the kind of tank Malphite comes in and shows that he could have gotten a triple kill if he had an AP item, for sure. So tankiness is going to help. I think he probably should have just gone AP though, if I'm honest, because the damage he's doing this early on going tank, just imagine if he was full damage, right? But now, fight around Baron. Lucifer's Light does not have the ultimate. Buddha doesn't have his up yet either. They probably could have waited a little bit or even succeeded this. This is going to be an iffy fight for them. It still could come out beneficial to them because they're missing all 5 ultimates on the other side for Go Next Gaming. But Alistar's ultimate and Buddha's ultimate have just come up. But not a whole lot of damage could be coming in with those.
We saw Severe teleport to this fight, so they know they want to pick up this Drake. They want to get another early soul point. General Ziliana, you mentioned it, looking for a flank. Rift Herald going to get dropped in the mid lane. They've got the push in. General Ziliana looking for an angle, but they're going to engage onto him and try to pull away from everybody else. Alistair in a lot of trouble, though. Multiple stuns coming out. Alistair is going to fall. They've spent so much time on General Ziliana that the rest of the squad is falling apart. Ben Hart Vance going to fall. A 3-for-2 for right now, but Go Next Gaming looking to clean up the rest of TA Fear and overrate that damage starting to really sting. They've gotten Severe under the turret. It's a 5th kill for overrate, and Go Next Gaming, the composition, the damage is finally online.
That is a massive, massive play for Go Next Gaming. They do lose their tower in the mid lane. Thankfully, that Repel doesn't get another push off. But like you said, they were just so focused on Ziliana. They missed a lot on him that they weren't really paying attention to Xerath and Jhin just absolutely melting them in the backline. Overrate just standing still, pushing Q and shredding through everybody. And it ends up being a huge misplay by TA Fear and a great play by Go Next Gaming. Now they're only down about 1,000, despite being down about 4,000 no less than 10 minutes ago. 16-14, they've picked up their first dragon of the entire series here. Now let's see if they're able to turn that and continue on with that. They haven't really gotten a lead per se, but they've managed to stop the bleeding. They've managed to pull themselves back in and just be down a little bit. And so they got to look for plays like that again as long as they can. Then they're going to be looking good. I didn't think I'd be saying that this game, that they definitely have a chance of winning this.
That dragon really going to move the needle. See if they can get a kill on the B-Way Bennett. It's not really going to move the needle too much, but that's okay. They will be able to rip him apart. Buddha's up here too. There's nothing else for them to take on the map. Go Next Gaming. So the fall of B-Way Bennett going to be a little rough. That means the turret could fall as well. But, you know, want to go back to that dragon going down. It does move the needle big time for Go Next Gaming because of the fact that there's not a whole lot of damage. Remember, we talked about TA Fear's damage profile being a little lower. That's why we see Buddha going full damage here, no tank. So those extra bit of resistances, especially when you're not building tank items on the other side, can really go a long way if they can get multiple dragons.
That's very true. I mean, speaking of, stacks for everybody else look at the stacks on Heartsteel. Severe, only 189, despite having a massive lead earlier on and building that Heartsteel first. BOL Bennett now has 2 completed items on top of the boot and 311 stacks of that Heartsteel. So with the tankiness that he's building, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially when he gets popped into his death state. So might be seeing some tanky bounce coming through on BOL Bennett, just kind of looking to run in, be a tank, get as many Heartsteel stacks as he can, try to take at least someone else down with him and just be a body in front so that General Liliana overrate and Benhart Vance, even Bark can just lay down that damage. We're seeing the power coming through from that kill lane from Benhart and Bark. They had a very rough start, which I think is understandable when you're against Varus and Nautilus, but now that we're getting into the mid to later stages of the game, they're starting to do quite a bit when they're trading back, and they can actually get the full combo on.
Yeah, and really when you're playing against bot lanes of this caliber, any mistake that you make is going to be magnified across the game, right? Regardless if it was Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw, or if it's Benhart Advance and Bark Wolf-a-Woo making the first mistake, the side that takes advantage of the mistake is also going to take advantage of further engagements, and that's why things have gone so poorly for them on the bot side, but not poorly enough that Alistair's really taken over this game just because of the sheer suite of threats that are going after him. Positioning was a little rough in the last fight as well, so we'll have to see if their positioning improves for the next ones. We see the gold lead actually swinging back over to TA Fear at 3,000 after that BOL Bennett death, after the turret going down. So, they're still back to square one here. It feels like every time they try to get back into the games, they're just not. They just fall right back down the mountain, and every next fight is an opportunity to restart that climb. Oh my god, the bomba, baby! Alistair going to be able to clean that one up. Only one stun coming out from General Ziliana here. Let's see if they go for more. Elucidator's Light has cut him off. The flash is going to be expended, but they don't want to go for any more. They see that teleport coming in from BOL Bennett, so they're going to pull off from now.
There's no way that is legal, man. Buddha 4-0-6 Night Harvester with the Shadow Flame build as well. Just one shot, just absolutely
almost.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, wasn't a full bomba yet.
He didn't land his empowered auto for the one shot. He got knocked over to the other side of the wall. But man, what a play that was. A good turnaround from GoNext to stop the remaining kills that could have gone through, and I think that was actually really good on Severe and Elucidator's Light to not try to pull the trigger. I know as Malphite, whenever I play and whenever I see a TP, I'm like, I'm gonna push R as soon as this guy comes through. And it's like the Lee Sin, you land Q, mind's telling you no, your body's telling you yes.
Sometimes
and Elucidator's Light, I'm sure wanted to do it. Yeah, his body was telling him no and his mind was telling him no. He said, I'm gonna peel off of this. Drake's in 10 seconds. We'll see if we get 2 for GoNext Gaming or a soul point coming through for TA Fear, but this is a very sketchy start. Benhart Vance is still mid lane pushing. If this opens up too early, he will not be there for the fight.
They don't have wards either. They really are going to need to make a play soon. Not enough poke coming down from this Xerath yet. General Ziliana on the other side of the wall. They're going to get in there. They're going to stun multiple members up, but they're going to get caught out here. And now the ultimate coming out for Benhart Vance. Looking to pick off a couple of members. Alistair still alive. Meanwhile, fight in the pit. It's not enough damage. They're able to take out 2, but potentially clean up to be had. Lots of low health bars. Couple of members are going to get out. BOL Bennett flashing over with the blast plant, gonna quash that. Ends up being a 2 for 2, but most importantly, soul point for TA Fear.
That was I want to say, even though they lost the Drake, that was a really good fight for GoNext. I think that should hopefully open their eyes to see what they need to go for as far as fights, because they were just in that pit, and as long as they're in the pit, Benhart Vance, he opens up the curtain call, right? Bark opens up the right of the arcane. They can just lay down damage from 5 screens away, while Ziliana is ulting in the pit and hitting everyone with it. Overrate gets in, Gwen is immune, pushes R, pushes Q, and just chews through the tanks. That was a really good fight for GoNext. Although, like you said, it puts TA Fear on soul point, so it's a very sketchy situation for them. Baron is up as well. 25 minutes in, I imagine we start to see someone go for this here. Not sure who's going to try to start it. I would imagine it would be TA Fear if they want to start that up, but not entirely sure which way that's going to go.
Yeah, and really a big reason why Go Next was not unable to win that fight convincingly despite the lack of health bars is because they weren't able to establish vision because the Xerath had fallen. You mentioned the Baron getting started up. Here it is. TA Fear really want a piece of this thing. General Ziliana does have teleport available if they want to try to find a way in. Severe trying to come through, Overrate over the wall, but the Baron is secured by Buddha, but Overrate is ripping him apart. There's a shutdown. Other side of the fight, Elucidator's Light has 2 members sequestered off, but Dinosaur Chainsaw takes a lot of damage. Alistair is just backing up the whole time, but they will be able to find a kill. Meanwhile, Severe is going to fall, and Elucidator's Light, the final target, so the Baron is secured, but it is a 4-for-1 in favor of the side of Go Next Gaming, and they are going to be the ones able to push down Alistair, just the lone remaining member here, and it's going to be a lot of gold going over to the other side.
I don't know how they're doing it, man, but Go Next Gaming have slowly but surely just worked their way back into this game. It was 7-2 at 8 minutes, 7 minutes if I'm not mistaken, and now it is 21-20. They're down 2 Drakes. They're even on towers, and they're winning team fights. So this is very, very strange to see. Like, not in the way that, you know, I'm saying that TA Fear should be winning this, but with the draft they have, for me, this is a crazy turnabout. I think that TA Fear probably could have had a handle on this game a lot more than they have. I think Go Next is just getting the better of them now with these team fights. So next Drake is in about 2 minutes. That's going to have to be where the next fight is, right? Because it's going to be for Soul Point. So Go Next is going to have to set themselves up around that. But now that Go Next are pulling themselves back in, still a 3K deficit, I trying to think what TA Fear have to do in these fights. I think they need to stop fighting in chokes, right? They should have learned from that by now, that even though they have a team that fights well in chokes, they just have the worst team for it. I think G&G just have a much stronger fight in that. Is Severe getting chased down by Zillion, has to use his ultimate to stop the push, but he's going to be out.
Not the longest cooldown in the world, but really it's their target prioritization that's been off the last couple of fights. We saw Overrate go over the wall, not secure the Baron, sure, but Elucidator's Light was so focused on zoning everybody else off the fight, they kind of forgot the fact that Overrate was able to 1v1 Buddha and then get a kill in a 2v1 against Dinosaur Chainsaw and Alistair, right? So Overrate is pulling 3 members and getting 2 kills, while the rest of the squad, it's a 4-on-2 for them. So despite how far behind they were and what the Malphite was doing to them, they were able to regroup and then surgically pick apart TA Fear. They were so clean earlier in the game and so clean in game 1, but their fights have been very sloppy as the game has progressed, and more mistakes like that could result in a loss.
Yeah, that's really important. If you're TA Fear, you don't want to be coming into this with such a massive lead and then just end up giving that away. It's a fight now opening up.
Overrate is going to get picked off early, and that's pretty bad. Although he's still alive, somehow they managed to get 2 kills out of it. It's a 4v3. Alistair is caught in a corner. B-Way Bennett slams right into him. The flash is out, but now he's slowed. Now he's rooted. Elucidator's Light tries to fly in, but can't do a damn thing. And now he's drawn the ire of the entirety of Go Next Gaming. That is an ace, and they have found a way back in.
That is kind of all but showing that this game may be close to over. TA Fear is just not fighting cohesively. They need to be working as a team. They have this kind of wombo combo style team. It should be Elucidator's fight leading the fight with that ultimate, not trying to get something from it at the end of it. Like we talked about earlier, he's a tank. He's not doing damage. So he's going in super late, using that ultimate. He's getting knockup, sure, but he's not doing any damage for it, and there's nobody with him to do that damage. So TA Fear now down ever so slightly in gold. However, you gotta think, what does that show at the state of the game if they are losing despite having had, 3-4K gold lead all game?
That is incredible. to see that Go Next Gaming has fought so hard. We thought their composition was a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but has really come together well. They have plenty of damage, and the problem is TA Fear did not have enough damage. You saw how long Overate was alive at just about 200 HP because Gwen is immune, and when you burn everything possible, there's nothing more you can do. However, there's still a lot of strength on the side of TA Fear. It still appears that they can win these fights if they're the ones to engage first, but they have to throw everything they have at an enemy, and that's what they're not doing. They're holding back just a little bit. It's resulting in these poor fights. It could be too late for them to shape up, but the gold lead just slightly in favor of Go Next Gaming. I think really the first lead they've had since maybe the beginning of the game. We'll see how things progress. Alistair is the target. Alistair taking a lot of damage. He's gone golden, but the target is now Overate. They're looking to blow him up, and they do find him. Alistair still alive on low HP. The Suns are out. They've protected Mr. President. General Ziliana has fallen. Now B-Way Bennett's the target. This could be it. They could have turned this one around. Bernhard Vance has to go off to the side, but Bark Bark Woof Awoo trying to kite things out. Dinosaur Chainsaw is getting low. There's no more Alistair, so no more consistent damage, but the damage is still coming through in spades for Go Next Gaming. Dinosaur Chainsaw and Severe, the last two members alive, as the bottom lane and the top lane are looking for the push. No Baron minions available, but an opportunity. If they take out Severe, they could end the game. You see Bernhard Vance is doing damage.
Oh, man,
they are on a killing spree, and the turret will fall. The death timers are long. It's Alistair in 10 seconds. It's Buddha in 15, and Bernhard Vance doesn't have the attack speed, and they will have to back away. But the most convincing fight that Go Next has won all game.
This should be them winning, honestly. That fight was really, really good. Alistair goes golden, I think, preemptively. I think someone should have been in front of him. I do think B.O. Bennett was going to miss that ult regardless. And because of that, Alistair comes out of going golden being absolutely rained on by Bark Bark and Bernhard. So he gets just instantly out of that fight, was never really in it to begin with because he was, invulnerable for 4 seconds. So that fight could not have gone better.
There's a teleport coming in. Another teleport in response here. But it comes B.O. Bennett on top of Alistair. They're going to catch him. Lots of damage coming out. And everybody getting ripped to pieces. Buddha is low. Elucidator's light is dead. It's multiple kills coming out for that Jhin with that bouncing grenade. Severe is going to get caught once more. And Go Next Gaming are looking to end this one. 4 more kills for them as they're looking to get more structures down, add to their gold lead. They are in command right now, Fury.
Watch this Demolish Rock. Ready, wait for it. Come on,
Boom,
there
boom.
you go. Boom. 873 stacks of that Heart Steel. B-Way Bennett is massive. He's sitting at about 7k health.
Look at how thick he is. He's a thick boy.
Crazy. Bernhard Vance now in B-Way, tearing down these structures, taking down a turret. They're going to take down another inhib. Doesn't look like they're quite going to be able to end the game with the timing of Elucidator's Light and Buddha coming back up here.
I think they're
but
just
I
going to go
imagine
for it,
they're going to
though.
go back for a Baron.
Elucidator's Light does have teleport up if they want to go get him. Bernhard Vance, it's the target here. Dinosaur Chainsaw has to play away, but Bernhard Vance is going to get caught out by Elucidator's Light. Now the question is, can they take him down? He's all alone, and he will fall. So a stay of execution here for TA Fear, but they're looking to play fast. They're pinging that Baron Fury.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick move there. It's a 4v5, though. I don't know if they really want this. I mean, they kind of have to take it.
They have to do it.
Really a do-or-die situation. It's either take it and stall the game a little bit
General
longer,
Ziliana
or they get
from
them
behind.
and they end the game.
Severe's not here. Dinosaur Chainsaw going to get the engage first. The Baron's going to go down. Multiple members have been stunned. Look at the damage raining from Bark Bark Woofawoo. And Elucidator's Light is going to fall. Severe, the only one standing, and could not get in that fight. This is going to be Go Next Gaming making the final push. The death timers are long. Their damage is great. And the health bar Severe is not going to be high for too much longer. They're just going to try to zone him off a little bit here as the team is going to push for the Nexus turrets. Severe, severely chunked out, severely poked out. They're just running him away, and General Ziliana has the damage. Go Next Gaming scaled into the late game, and at 35 minutes in, they are able to claim game 2.
That is a phenomenal play by Go Next. I don't think there should have been any reason that they win that game, if I'm honest. If you show me both of these drafts, you ask me which one wins, I'm going with the TA Fear 100% of the time. TA Fear, just like you talked about it earlier, their target control was just awful. Every single fight that happened, they just let it be really hectic and paid dearly for it. They had a great start in their lanes, but when it came to the 5-on-5s, they just, I don't know if they just weren't sure what to do with themselves, misplay in comms maybe, but something needs to change for them going into the next game, because for me, that was a surefire win.
The mid-game miscues have certainly plagued TA Fear this series. They did not pay for it in game 1, but they pay dearly in game 2. And I am legally obligated to say we have ourselves a series, Fury. We're going to take a short break as the teams are going to get suited and ready for game 3 of this best of 5 between TA Fear and Go Next Gaming. This one will mean a whole lot. Welcome back, Blue Otter League family, to the Game 3 draft between TA Fear and Go Next Gaming. It's Yanni, it's Fury still on the call, and it's an oddly similar draft to Game 1. literally the exact same for right now, as TA Fear looking to run it back. A third game of Varus here coming out for Alistair, and it's another game of Jin here for Benhart Vance.
Fun and interactive Varus gameplay tonight. Jin gonna get picked up again. Gwen gonna get picked up again.
Why not?
I'm really surprised TA Fear didn't ban that. I'll be honest. Like, I thought maybe something was gonna change in the draft. Nothing changed in the draft at all so far. So TA Fear already coming out behind by letting Go Next Gaming pick the exact same thing they did in the last game.
Well, we'll see, right? Because from a perspective of both of these teams, this game and this draft went very different. For TA Fear, it's we made mid-game mistakes, but we got such a good lead. Holy crap!
No shot!
This guy, Rengar, has been so strong with the Ghostblade changes. All right, now we're finally seeing some wrinkles come in.
People are getting one shot
right?
tonight now.
Someone is going to
get deleted, and I can't wait to watch that happen.
Yeah.
I don't think I have ever casted a Rengar.
Oh.
Genuinely, I don't think I've ever casted a Rengar.
I don't think I have either, but I know my friend Shycept, who's streaming right now, would be pretty happy if she was watching this game because she is a master OTP Rengar. So I've seen a lot of crazy, wacky Rengar builds so far this patch. So we'll see what happens as there's a lot of squishy champions. And Go Next Gaming going to opt in for potentially another one, although Jin Karma, one of the stronger lanes that you could go, they're going to lock that one in.
Very, very true. Although the Karma could get flex mid if they choose to do so. Rengar is not cemented into jungle, although more than likely it probably will be. They could throw that to top onto Severe.
I think it'll be top.
But I do think it's going to be Buddha on that. Yeah, I hope it's Buddha. I want to see more interactive Rengar rather than just in-lane cheese Rengar. But Varus with the Rakan coming through. I like Rakan, but I do think probably could have been a better support. Picked up blind, especially when you have so many left up. You didn't ban any supports. Go Next Game and ban all the ones they don't want to see. Kiana is going to get banned, though. That's a smart one. They don't want to let GNG pick that up. Rumble getting taken off the map along with the Galio. That's a first. We haven't seen the Galio ban yet. So I'm not sure what Go Next has cooking up for their picks that they don't want to see Galio mid.
Well, they have plenty of damage, so getting a tank that could also make a Rengar a little bit tankier, give them the resistances, could be huge. You see that Akali ban you just mentioned coming out. It's a pretty wise ban because, you know, every champion that you see here so far is pretty squishy. So I'm interested to see what we're going to get in the way of tanks, if we're going to get any at all. Potentially see more burst champions come out. I mean, if TA Fear wants to go with something like a Veigar in the mid lane that just thrives on immobile squishies like Karma and Jin, that would be super cool. We're going to see the Jace come out here. Going to provide a lot of poke along with that Karma and really squeeze the health bars of TA Fear.
The NA Jace, as the meme suggests. We'll see how it plays out, whether it goes mid or top. Gwen's surely going to be thrown into the jungle. Karma and Jace current flexes right now. TA Fear, let's see what they grab in response on the double blind pick here. Syndra, Ahri getting covered. Ahri going to be the eventual lock-in. So that is going to be in the mid lane. And finally, for what I am assuming is going to be the top lane, it's got to be some kind of tank, right? Maybe they pick the Scion, maybe they go Malphite, maybe they take the Ornn again, because Ornn is still up. They could. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think they go,
it'll be the Ornn. Yeah, that wouldn't be too surprising. And I like what TA Fear has put together once again when they lock in this Ornn. You've got Varus and Ornn as your lockdown ultimates, and then Rakan and Ahri just able to slide in, slide out with their way their champion kits work. Cause a lot of chaos on what is a pretty squishy backline, so anybody here could immediately get picked off, but it will be Aurelia, who, I gotta be honest with you, I've never noticed this in draft law. Her face is really, really big. They really zoom in on Aurelia here, but Go Next Gaming going to get that Aurelia. So these team compositions, certainly no shortage of damage on either side, Fury.
Definitely not. This whole series is just going to be, and has already been, a bloodbath. It's just constant fighting. There's no real technique with the macro. It's just, Dragon's up, let's all go to it and fight around it. Baron's up, Rift Herald is up, let's just go fight. And it's worked for both teams so far. It worked game one for TA Fear. Go Next kind of picked up on it in game number 2 and got the better of them. And TA Fear, I think, lacked in the macro department in the last one. And Go Next kind of pulled that together for themselves. So this time around, I'm just very excited to watch this. Aurelia into Ornn or Jason to Ornn. I don't know who's going to be going where there. I think Jace might benefit from the matchup more so than Aurelia. I think if you put Aurelia mid against Ahri, it might just be better for her to get on top of the Ahri and try to kill her rather than Ahri dash in, charm Jace, and kill him. But we'll see in the next couple minutes where they do decide to go.
Yeah, and conversely, you know, you're putting, if you take Aurelia here, you're putting your melee into their ranged matchup, and you're putting your ranged into their melee, right? If you decide to send Jace top. Well, Ornn, let's say things go poorly for both the melees here. Ornn is going to have any rough lane, unless he dies a million times, mitigated by the fact that he's got other useful tools. Whereas Aurelia is, other than just her stun, I mean, if she's behind, not going to be able to do too much damage. So definitely a big question. Definitely some options here for both Go Next Gaming and TA Fear if they want to decide to swap things out. But I would imagine that Elucidator's Light will probably stay in the mid lane, wouldn't take Ahri top. Would seem a little questionable here. So, you know, yeah, especially with her mobility, you want to keep that in the mid lane for sure.
Yeah, that'd be funny seeing Ahri in a long lane. That would be
sometimes it happens, man.
Very fun to watch.
It's rare.
And we've seen crazier stuff in League of Legends. You know, we've seen Draven top, and that was a terrible 2 weeks for top laners. But Aurelia, so far, sitting in the top side here. I get the reason why. Aurelia just has so much kill pressure early, can just jump on Ornn and get him far behind as soon as possible. Wave clear, shove in, potentially roam if she wants to. The thing is, I don't know if you want to be pushed up all the time as the Aurelia into the Ornn, because I would rather top and mid be kind of even. That's why I would prefer to see Aurelia mid so that she can't be as aggressive, and Jace top so that he can't be as aggressive, because the second Rengar gets behind you, you're in trouble. That is the one thing about that.
Yeah, Rengar will be able to blow up pretty much anybody here. You know, even Aurelia. So Buddha going to really shift gears here compared to, you know, what he put together in game 1 and in game 2. Although a lot of damage coming out from Gragas, definitely a little bit more of a team pick option. This time Buddha said, I am playing for myself. We are going to play around me. I'm going to get picks. We're going to get kills. And that is something that TA Fear, their composition, does very well. Great picks, great kills. On the other side, Go Next Gaming, they have the poke for sure, though. So it could make a lot of these contests for objectives very difficult to iron out, especially because these teams have danced around objectives multiple times in this series. So Go Next Gaming could take big advantage of that. We are heading into the spectator delay, which means we're going to take a very short break. And when we return, it'll be the rubber match here of this 5-game series. It'll be game 3 with both teams at 1 win apiece and looking to take advantage of the series. Welcome back, Blue Otter League family, to Game 3 of this Best of 5 series and the Blue Otter League Masters Grand Finals. TA Fear, once again on the blue side. They had a huge lead in Game 2, Fury. They were unable to convert, but now with a much different team composition than Games 1 and 2, interested to see if their strong early game prowess will benefit them here.
Yeah, this is going to be really big on TA Fear to try to learn from their mistakes in the last game. Even the ones from Game 1 that allowed Go Next to, I don't want to say get close to ending the game, but not end the game as quickly as they probably would have liked to. And for Go Next Gaming to capitalize on the mistakes of TA Fear. So both teams have a lot going into this game. You know, this game will be match point for whoever wins it. And then we'll get to potentially a final game after that. So this one kind of rides on both teams playing to the best of their ability and taking full advantage of any mistake that's left for them.
And let's call it what it is here. Go Next Gaming, despite them playing an excellent second half of the game, and the way they played the fights was really good. We talked a lot about how TA Fear misplayed the fights, but you know, that does mean that Go Next Gaming played the fights pretty well. Right. They got bailed out in Game 2 by getting the victory there. So they really need to take advantage because it feels like TA Fear could have put them in a chokehold. They found a way to escape. And you can tell that Go Next Gaming is a team that can take games off of TA Fear. There's not a huge skill disparity or mismatch or anything here. They just need their early games to go a little bit better.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are pretty on par with each other, honestly. It's just all about how they're executing their plays. And like you said, getting bailed out in game number 2 like Chainsaw was bailing out players in game number 1. So this one kind of rides on a lot here. I do like both comps. I can't really say there's anything inherently wrong with either side. You know, normally I would say the Gwen jungle is weird, but we saw it get played in the last game and it worked just fine. Played exceptionally well. Maybe Zilliana on the Jace is something I'm a little bit worried about because Jace is kind of coin flippy as a champion, even though he can absolutely blow people up, but so can Buddha on this Rengar, especially with that first strike now. So that's something to watch out for in the next couple of minutes.
And one of the big things here is how much help are these laners going to get from their junglers? You know, Rengar doesn't have a whole lot in the way of CC. The Bola Strike, you know, the empowered Bola Strike, obviously good CC is, oh man, BOL Bennett getting first blood up on the top side, burning flash, burning ignite, huge stuff there. And Buddha just, you know, sadly is going to try to maybe do something bot side, but probably isn't going to be able to do much. And, you know, that's the problem. Being on the bot side means you weren't able to help out your top laner, getting spotted out by the wards as well. And things very, very good for Go Next Gaming after that.
Hey, Titan Esports, welcome everybody.
Thank
you for joining us. We're in, give you a quick recap. Game number 3, TA Fear's on blue, Go Next Gaming on red. It is 1-1 right now. Go Next Gaming won the last game. But yeah, like you said, Severe shoved under tower. You would have liked Rengar on the top side to get behind BOL Bennett. And I'll be honest, the words diving Ornn are usually not in my vocabulary because it's not something you want to do. Usually you lose that fight, but BOL Bennett taking advantage of the level 3 spike that he has against him and ends up getting a nice solo kill under tower early on. So that's going to bode very well from him going into the mid-laning phase. Now Benhart, Bark, Alistar, and Dinosaur Chainsaw just kind of trading back and forth on their pro.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of the mains on the top side for BOL Bennett. As you can see, Benhart advance, weaving in and out. Ignite gonna get expended here. There's the knock-up, forcing the flash out of this Jhin, but they're potentially looking for more. Dinosaur Chainsaw taking a lot of damage. That root doesn't land, so just a lot of punching back and forth, but BOL Bennett is getting punched up in the top side, and it's Buddha picking up the kill, exactly who you wanted.
That's exactly what I was doing. Flash from Alistar.
Back down to the bot side, he's been exhausted, but look at Dinosaur Chainsaw weave in and out. They will be able to take down Benhart Vance. Alistar doesn't have the mana to be able to get more kills, but things going well across the map right now for TA Fear.
That's the only issue with the Karma. It's a really good lane. However, you don't really have a lot of CC right now. You have W, but after that's expended, after Exhaust is expended, you don't have a whole lot in the way of stopping Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw from going in on you. And they just show that Alistair had to blow both some sort of Dinosaur Chainsaw. But they end up with a kill, and now Overrate might actually be moving on to this Drake. They might actually have the priority over that.
Yeah, and they do. Bot lane had to back. Benhart Advance and Bark Wolfawoo going to get there first. Saw Rengar on the top side. Good pickup on the objective here for Go Next Gaming. So their early game, at the very least right now, is a little bit more stable than the past ones have been. We'll see if that continues. And really, that's all it is. It feels like their team fighting is pretty good. Gerald Ziliana able to get a solo kill onto Elucidator's Light. So things looking good for Go Next Gaming Theory.
That was a very good solo kill in the mid lane for Ziliana. That's what you want to see at this point. Normally, when you get to this point in time when Elucidator's Light is level 6, it's really hard to get on top of him because Take to the Skies is just going to get nullified by Elucidator's Light's ultimate to be able to dash away. But that was not the case here. Ziliana did have to blow Flash. Elucidator's Light didn't use it, and maybe just, I'm not sure if he knew he was dead or just didn't want to blow it and kind of disrespected the damage, but that was a big hold from him. It's going to hurt him severely. He'd be down about 18 CS at the moment, and then in terms of gold as well, he's down about 700. So not a great start for Elucidator's Light compared to the past 2 games where he's had a significant lead early on. This time around, playing a little bit more for scaling, it looks like.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Take to the Skies does you can get hit and take a lot of damage, right? And especially when you're playing a squishier champion this time around, as opposed to the Malphite you had last time. I mean, Elucidator's Light just not a winner there on that coin flip fight. We'll see how things progress here as Overrate hovering around on the top side, wants to make a play onto Severe, but B-Way Bennett is just pretty content with the way things are going right now. Able to see us pretty much for free. And again, a little bit of the problem with this Gwen pick is there's not like too much in the way of guaranteed CC for the Gwen to be able to get in there and make effective ganks happen.
And not only that, but you're kind of drafting 3 winning lanes, and there's no real way for you to get into a fight. Like right now, Severe is pretty pushed in Overrate's top side, so I don't really know what Overrate is going to contribute to this fight, unless B.O. Bennett's able to just kind of bait Severe into walking at him like he is right now. Here comes the ultimate. Buddha's top side as well.
Okay, and Buddha's level 6, so they don't even know he's there. He hops on B-Way Bennett for the kill, and now is going to hop right on top of Overrate. Overrate has to get out of dodge. A fantastic counter gank for Buddha, claiming the life of B-Way Bennett once more.
Yeah, very well played. Even though he did walk into B-Way Bennett's ultimate there, he walked right through Vanguard's edge and got disarmed, but thankfully was able still to jump onto B-Way Bennett there, help secure the kill, and now with Elucidator's Light moving to the top side as well as Dinosaur Chainsaw, this Rift Herald is all but there.
Yep, and now we're seeing a bit of a difference here. A lot of the Dragons were going over to TA Fear and not the Rift Heralds, but this time around, Buddha's got the Rift Herald in the back pocket. He's got the Serrated Dirk for that extra damage, so we'll see a well-timed gank could result in the first turret potentially going down. Obviously, still a lot of plates everywhere, but it really just depends on how effective the gank actually is, and already has that Ghost Blade completed here at the 9-minute mark. Everybody's been talking about how strong this item is, Fury.
Yeah, the only thing is, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. He only has 1 stack of that Bone Tooth Deathless because he's killed B.O. Bennett twice, but I don't think it really matters because Yumu should be able to make up for a lot of every champion on Go Next Gaming, except for Karma, kind of, is just squishy. Buddha's going to be able to jump on anyone he wants and just pick someone off at this point. He is bot side now. Oh, he's going right after Bark.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Instantly half health.
Yeah, no follow-up there. Maybe just wanting to get the charge in. 1:20 until the dragon is up. Not going to do that, but Buddha has options on where he wants to go for right now. We're going to see the bot lane take a roam as well. It's Dinosaur Chainsaw mostly on it. It's a good river ward, so they know that Buddha and Dinosaur Chainsaw are headed in. Overrate knows that ultimate's coming in, has to try to find a way out. It means the blue buff is going to go over to Buddha. So just harassing with that ultimate at the very least and making life hard for the jungler of Go Next Gaming.
Oh, okay. Bark spotting that out there. And yeah, Buddha now, I mean, I don't know who wins the 1v1 between Overrate and Buddha. Probably Buddha at this point because Overrate doesn't have a mythic yet, but once he does have it, I'm interested to see if they actually go for a fight against each other. Buddha's still putting pressure here. 3v3 on the bot side. Jace is moving, as has Lucidator's Light, so 4v4. And realistically, it was all that just for a Gromp. That was probably the longest Gromp fight I've ever seen. But Drake should be up here in the next 20 seconds or so. Buddha does have that Rift Herald still in his pocket. Now, where he drops that, probably going to be either mid or bot. Just not sure which one yet. And they'll probably use that to help secure their advantage over that Drake.
Yeah, and one thing is that we saw that Buddha started the back, but is elected to stay. That's because that dragon is coming up here. Overrate is backing. They're waiting to see who's going to show up here. A ping went out. They did spot Buddha here. So Benhar Vance and this Karma are going to at least play it safe for now. They know this ultimate is down. Overrate going to try to back them up just in case a fight is forced.
Yeah, they should know that Buddha's bot side, though. The way Alistar's holding the wave, you can always tell someone's there by the way they just stop playing, right?
He got hit.
Alistar's been pushing, and then he's suddenly not pushing. Overrate's here, and I think Overrate came down there because he kind of knew he was there. 3v3 in the bot side. Kind of just gets sniffed out by Go Next. I genuinely think they were like, okay, Alistar's just holding the wave. They're junglers down here, and played that very smart.
Yeah, I'm surprised Overrate took the back here.
Yeah, that is a questionable decision.
But Elucidator's Light going to take the back as well. Cancel the back wisely here. As you know, they want to go in. They're going to try to catch Benhart Vance out. He has been drop the exhaust. He flashes over the wall. Buddha's going to follow it up. But Buddha, it looks like they're going to go down. And they will. The shutdown claimed by General Zilliana. But Elucidator's Light flying through, trying to make a play. Knock up onto that Gwen. But Overrate has that ultimate and has plenty of damage to dish out. But Elucidator's Light also has plenty of damage to put back in. It's a kill for them. Overall, a 2-for-1 in favor of TA Fear, and you can see the advantage starting to go their way just a bit.
So the only thing really that they came out on top of on there is they killed Buddha. They got a shutdown onto Zilliana for it as well. So it stalls out the Drake here to let them try to contest it yet again. Without Buddha's ultimate, he did use it. Lucidator's Light as well. That's down. So is Alistair. So they might be able to actually take this. The only thing is Severe just can't play the lane, man. B-Way Bennett is just running him down with that board.
So much damage, right? And I mean, we saw game one go the same way, where B-Way Bennett was getting a big advantage. And again, B-Way Bennett, he was on that Alawi, one of his main champions, well over 100 games this season in solo queue. Same thing with Aurelia, and trying to carve out those advantages. It's been a little difficult for him. Severe has done a pretty good job outside of that first death, and as always will be useful later. So that dragon is going to get picked up here by the side of TA Fear, getting those extra resistances.
After the Rift Herald is dropped mid as well, they get a couple plates and the dragon for that, so a decent chunk of gold. However, it's only going to put them about 300 gold ahead right now with the help of that shutdown we saw earlier, and the fact that Zilliana 2-0 as a 30 CS lead and then a 20 CS lead for B-Way Bennett in the top side. So that is where a lot of this gold is right now. It's a 1200 gold lead mid. It's a 800 gold lead up top. However, on the flip side of that, Rengar and Gwen, Rengar has a close to 2,000 gold lead there, and then in the bot side, Varus sitting on about an 800, 700 gold lead as well. So gold all over the map right now, helping balance everything out. Pretty much dead even in terms of everything on the map here as well.
Full
now
engagement
catch
on to that Karma, and Alistair are going to pick it up. That was in a warded bush too. Dinosaur Chainsaw burning that flash, seizing the opportunity there. And again, it's Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw getting the better of the bot lane of Go Next game.
And then Elucidator's Light is just he's missing everything here, unfortunately. He missed Charm, missed Everfrost, missed 2 Qs. And Elucidator's Light gets the better of that fight. However, he's probably going to have to back as well, and Zilliana has a TP.
Buddha unable to get anything done there. No ultimate available. We saw it get burnt on the top side of the jungle a couple moments ago, so not able to make nearly as much of an impact here. And because Elucidator's Light hadn't backed yet, this means that Buddha could be caught out here and will get blown up by the Jace, who is now 3-0.
What is Buddha doing besides feeding Zileana kills here, man? Now, 2 Yumus on the table, and so far, we've seen Zileana make better use of it than Buddha has so far with that kill. Now, they're pushing their way through mid. They have 3 there. They have the Rift Herald in tow on over 8 as well. This should be the first tower of the game going over to GNG.
Yeah, and it's the General Zileana game, right? Up a bunch of CS. First turret gold going the way of them in over 8. See Dinosaur Chainsaw off to the side. You can see the sort of damage that General Zileana can do, as well as this Karma. We talked about it in the pregame. This poke going to be a huge factor when it comes to these objective fights. And you know that once these teams get set up and dug in, that damage is going to come out. It is going to do so much because of how far ahead this Jace is right now.
Yeah, Jace is scary. You know, we always make the memes about NA Jace. However, when it pops off, it pops off. And so
this is KR
so far,
Jace, bro.
So far, 3-0, looking very, very good right now. However, the only issue I have with that is he is all of the gold for Go Next Game. So the second he gets shut down, not a whole lot of damage left in the team fight. Whereas on the side of TA Fear, they have Buddha, they have Elucidator's Light, they have Alistar. And then, of course, they always have the ultimate from Severe. So later on in the full 5-on-5, I still give it to TA Fear at the moment. But if Go Next Game and keep playing the game that they're playing right now, looking for picks, just side laning, letting B-Way Bennett get this lead over Severe, they should be fine going into the late game.
Buddha has all, once again, holding the wave in the bottom side, trying to force Benhart Vance into making a mistake. Definitely doesn't want to lose out on that cannon, but it looks like he might. Really setting up the traps everywhere, but Buddha knows that they can't spend too much time down here, as, you know, it feels like if you're TA Fear and you're not advancing the game state, things are not going well for you.
That's true. However, at the same time, Severe being level 12 now, almost 13, gonna have those ornaments, but he's gonna have ornaments before he even has a full mythic yet. And B-Way Bennett is running him down half health, and here comes Buddha.
All right, they're going to try to get on to B-Way Bennett here.
Oh, good flash.
Nice flash out of B-Way Bennett. The dash over the wall, maybe find a way out, but Elucidator's Light in hot pursuit. There's the root, there's the charm, and there is a kill. It's going to be a shutdown there for Buddha. The Elucidator's Light took a lot of damage but gets out. We see over 8 on the bottom side as they want to push the pace here and potentially take down this turret. General Zileana able to get yet another kill, is now 4-0 and has their second item. Bot side, bot turret going down as the gold lead starting to spill toward the pockets of Go Next Gaming.
This is the closest game we've seen all series so far. Game number 1, very heavily towards TA Fear in the early game. Game number 2 as well. Game number 3 has just been back and forth, back and forth. 2 towers taken here as well. Zileana, after getting that kill on to Elucidator's Light. Bot side taking down that tower, takes down a tower of his own. Drake's up in 8 seconds, and they should be pretty set around that. It's going to be very hard to contest this as TA Fear, especially with the back coming from Alistar. Right now, not optimal timing for that. Buddha doesn't have the ultimate. He's, I wouldn't say he's not healthy, but Dinosaur Chainsaw is getting caught.
General Zileana, ooh, man, nice dodge there. But it's going to be the Dragon going over to Go Next Gaming. We know how impactful these Hex Tech Drakes can be. It'll be 2 dragons to 1, but that extra attack speed, that ability haste as well, going to help out a lot for a team who really benefits from ability haste.
Yeah, especially Benhart Vance, I would say. You know, his passive, he's going to be able to convert that to damage, that extra attack speed that he's getting. So he's going to love that. And then, I mean, Jin just straight up builds haste anyway. So Benhart Vance is loving this right now. He's not loving his score line. Definitely not loving the CS difference at the moment. However, he can definitely pull himself back in this game with a couple more of those Drakes, a couple more items under his belt. Because right now, Alistar is running away with it. 2 completed items. The only person in the game besides Zileana with 2 fully completed items. And that's because Zileana is 4-0. So it makes sense that he has 2 items. 4-0, 217 CS. It's 50 over Elucidator's Light. This is the probably most lopsided mid-game mid laners that we've seen. So mid-game mid laners, Zileana having this much of a lead because Elucidator's Light has been running away with the early game, both games.
Oh.
Now fight.
Charm, engage on the Overrate, but General Ziliana does so much damage. Overrate trying to follow it up, but it's a shutdown. Going over to Alistair. Dinosaur Chainsaw gonna get out, and Alistair leading the way. Elucidator's Light from the side gets the charm. Benhart Vance going to fall. It's a triple kill for Alistair. Couple of low health bars, but that Baron is in the sights of TA Fear as they have come up huge, and now Overrate is gonna be the next target. Gonna take a little bit of damage, but it's mostly Elucidator's Light wanting to just push him off, making sure cannot get to that Baron. Bottom side, B-Way Bennett trying to just cut off the wave as it comes through, but doesn't have teleport. One of the stronger members, despite the rough scoreline, unable to join these fights.
Yeah, he's still doing well for himself, though. I think he still takes this turret in the bot side. Lucia's Light and Dinosaur Chainsaw trying to stop it, but too much attack speed for BOA right now, and he's going to fight a 1v2. I don't think he's going to win.
Oh, he might be able to turn this. Look at the damage on the Elucidator's Light. Oh my god, B-Way Bennett, very low, Severe in the area. No way B-Way Bennett can get it done, and they can't. It's going to be Severe picking them up. But very scary to see a formerly 1-3 Aurelia, now 2-4, win a 2v1.
I would say even a 3v1, really. You know, Severe showed up there, pseudo 3v1, but yeah, 2v1 as Buddha goes to Bark with a 1v1 and shows them, hey, just to see you later, but no.
Benhart Advance has damage, has fourth shot. Oh, still alive, but Overrate gonna slide right in and pick up that kill. Current Call not gonna do a whole lot.
Look, as much as I love the Rengar pickup, if Buddha wants to win this game, he's gotta stop running it. He is just gifting gold up for free on repeat. He has 2 items, but he's letting people just get back into the game. Go next, slight lead in terms of gold, very, very slight. And that's mainly because of the CS and the Drakes they have. But Alistar 5-0-1, that is one of your only sources of damage, because Lucier's Light, I mean, obviously he built Everfrost, because everybody thinks Everfrost is the best item, but it doesn't matter when he misses half of his abilities. And then Buddha is just kind of running in and dying on repeat. So Alistar needs to tell his team, hey, I'm Varus, and I need to play far behind, and you guys need to be my front line. Please stop dying, and let's just get into the late game with 3 items, and let's win. But GoNext Gaming, they want to keep looking for those fights. They are very strong right now, with Ziliana being as ahead as he is. Overrate getting into his second item, just finished his second item, and then B-Way Bennett has that wit's end, moving on to has that Tiamat with the Hydra coming in next as well. So GoNext Gaming are climbing steadily into this game. Realistically, the only people that scale hard into the late game on TA are going to be Severe and Alistar. Everybody else on GoNext kind of scales infinitely.
Yeah, it's going to be rough to see if TA Fear can really get back into this game. They're up in kills. They're down in gold. Next Dragon up in about 30 seconds. And you saw how much damage General Ziliana did to Alistair there. Now has a little bit of heal cut as well. That could be very important. 3 items now for Alistair as well. It has the Ghost up, no flash, but has had room to cook in these fights that have occurred. So if they give him enough room, like you saw at that Baron fight, he will be able to carry you to the promised land. Is Buddha looking to catch out General Ziliana here, and it looks like he will. Flash over the wall. Severe looking for a knockup. Who's he going to hit? It's going to hit 3 members down on the bottom side, but Alistair's ultimate goes wide. We're going to see Aurelia come through on a flank as the Elucidator's Light had burned the teleport. This is a very long-standing flank here. Overlay going to get over the wall. Here's B-Way Bennett dropping that ultimate down. Alistair, though, good job going to the outside, but that means there's no damage in the middle of this fight. 2 members have been blown up immediately, and that is 2 quick kills for GoNext Gaming, and that will be sole point for them.
And just like that, Tifa have to back off. Look at the state of the top wave. Mid wave is pushing as well, and that was a really, really great play. A great flank from B-Way Bennett as well. Just 3-man ultimate. I think the biggest issue in that fight is Severe pulled the trigger on his Ornhorn just way too early. He looked for a pick on just General Ziliana, but you're not using Ornhorn to pick off one person when a team fight's about to happen. You need to hold on to that. Let General Ziliana go back to his team. Hit a 4-man knockup and then try to get your team to fight after that. Instead, pull trigger way too early, and GoNext Gaming come out big time on there. They are now on soul point for the first time ever, I think. right? Did they get Soul Point in the last
First time
game?
in the series, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think they got it in the
Point,
series
I think
yet.
Soul Point went over to TA.
I think that sounds right.
Okay.
General Zillion in trouble.
I think they have to take him down here, right? They're gonna burn everything they can. They're gonna churn him up, and it is gonna be Alistair getting that one. That means no, there's no minion wave. They can't actually get that turret either. So it's one kill. It's a lot of summoners. It's Buddha's flash, but now Dinosaur Chainsaw potentially in trouble. Overraid is here. Alistair is here, so is Buddha though. Teleport coming in, it is going to hit that Karma. So there's an opportunity to get another pick here, and they will. 2 kills for TA Fear, and nobody on the side of GoNext Gaming has been able to really push or anything. We just see Aurelia counter jungling on the bottom side, Jin catching a wave, so a big proactive play from TA Fear.
I'm not a big fan of the fact that BOL was just taking Krugs there. He's got 2 waves sitting right in his face that he could have started, maybe pulled someone from the top side away from that top for the siege and force someone to go back and stop the siege onto the inhib that's kind of just sitting there waiting for him to take it, because BOL just chews through towers now that he has a Sheen build. It was a very late pickup, but finally has that in his kit, and he'll be doing a lot of damage, but I like to see him put it to a little bit more use rather than just trying to take Krugs. But very nice play for TA Fear. They get a pick onto Bark Bark, which opens up a tower take for themselves as well, and then they kill onto General Zilliana as well. So 6-0 is Alistar now. 3 items, Kraken, Gwynsu's, as well as the Bork, moving on to his 4th. It's going to be a really scary Alistar. There's not a very easy way to get onto him if you're GoNext Gaming. The best thing you could hope for is another flank from BOL, or maybe just a take to the skies from General Zilliana on the side for a flank, and just try to take him out. But there's a lot of front line, a lot of CC, a lot of peel from, and kind of just a Nayram happening in the mid lane, and flank coming through from BOL.
Oh, Buddha hunting around on the side, but is going to get blown up by General Zilliana. But now they've rooted him up, and they will be able to take him down. Severe's ultimate coming through, going to turn it around onto Overray. BOL Bennett has been rooted up, but Alistair still okay. Elucidate is like 2 charges on that ultimate. The root is going to go down onto Severe if they want to try to get him down. It's Overray trying to dump out the damage. BOL Bennett flash over the wall on top of Alistair, who's going to flash all the way back. Overray very low. Benhart Vance able to pick up the kill and is pretty much untouched in this fight. Elucidator's light has nothing left to give, and they have fallen. And now Severe going to get slowed by one of the shots of the curtain call, and they will fall next. It's a double kill for BOL Bennett. Alistair, the last one standing, ends up being a 4-for-1 actually. Make it an ace here as Alistair has been, oh, never mind.
Maybe not.
Never mind.
Nope.
You know what?
Nope. Alistair does damage.
Listen, I disrespected Alistair's damage. Forgot he was 8-0 for a hot second here. But not good here if you are a TA Fear
now
fan.
He's dead. Surely.
Is he? Oh, he's got to be, right?
Surely
Vance in hot pursuit. I don't know if anybody can save him. Elucidator's Light does have teleport available. Alistair will just turn around. So Buddha can go in and get the kill. Will he be able to get away from BOL Bennett, though, who is 3 levels up? Look at the damage on these auto attacks.
BOL Bennett does damage. That is just a scary, scary. What was she earlier? 0-1 and 2. Then we saw earlier it was like 1, 2, and 3 or something. He's now 5, 4, and 5. We saw little polish come through mid DC.
Yeah, everybody's all good though.
Yeah, this is a not good looking game if you're TA. You had a good start. Buddha got ahead very quickly, but like I said, man, he just keeps running in and dying before the fight opens up. He's playing way too greedy. He's just sprinting it. But these ornaments are coming through as we're gonna get that spectator pause because they
looks so cool.
Pause. What, the Jin trap?
No, the J shield plus the
J shield
because of the skin.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at looking at the top side.
Looking like he was straight out of Super Smash Brothers, my guy.
But yeah, that's,
my God!
That's not ideal.
Oh my God! BOL Bennett.
1v3,
that was
by
disgusting.
That's really, really big on that pick, because now that should be soul, realistically. If it gets stolen, it gets stolen, but it's a 5v4, no Elucidator's Light.
There's nothing that TA Fear can do to combat this. It's Buddha going to try to maybe get in here. He's going to get spotted out by that Jin trap, and now over the walls, BOL Bennett, because he knows Everything it does is a-okay once he gets in there. Buddha's going to be able to get a kill on the backside, but is going to fall. BOL Bennett going to be the next target. On top of Alistair, almost able to take him down, but Alistair living with just a sliver. General Ziliana in hot pursuit, though, does get knocked up, and Alistair is ready to turn. Potentially has the ability to make a play. Big three-man knockup, but Alistair just going off the minions to try to heal up. Overrate getting knocked up. They're waiting for that W to go down, and Alistair is the last one alive, but Elucidator's Light is here with the teleport, the charms, the damage. They could turn onto Overrate. Elucidator's Light stuck in the back, but they're okay. And now it's Overrate and Alistair, but Overrate in hot pursuit. He's gone golden, but Alistair will fall, and we know that Overrate's got the damage. Snip, snip, all of the tails are cut. And it's a double kill for the jungler of Go Next Gaming, and it is going to be a soul.
I feel like TA just don't know who they're supposed to fight, and they don't know how strong they are. I'm not sure why Alistair walked up into Overrate. That was just a poor decision. Probably should have just left. Buddha went in, they got the kill on a Benhart. He's maybe gonna get a kill here. No, he's not. He's gonna have to back away. That is just gonna be Soul going over to Go Next Gaming. And Go Next Gaming are just looking cleaner and cleaner as the game go on, and TA Fear are just losing grip on reality, realistically. For the past couple games now, from mid-game, last game to now this game, they have a really easy way of winning this game, and it's just Ornn upgrades all your stuff, and then you guys fight. Ornn has done half of that, and now they just need to fight, but they're taking really bad fights. They're not grouped up fully. They still don't have the correct targeting. Buddha's going in and getting half health before the rest of his team shows up, and that Baron's gone in 10 seconds.
Severe could be in trouble here, and Overrate can deal a lot of damage. Curtain Call going to come out as well. We're going to just deal some damage to your squishier targets on the backside. Ultimate's going to hit 3 members. Overrate is going to get caught and is shut down. BOL Bennett down to about half HP. They got to take him down, and they do. It's a 4v3 for right now for TA Fear. Dinosaur Chainsaw has to get out of there. Elucidator's Light. Big charm.
Big charm.
They're going to be able to take him down. General Ziliana on top of Alistair, and TA Fear are fearless!
That was I'm glad we said it at the same time. Big charm. Elucidator's Light hits that and makes it worthwhile. 4 for 2 in favor of TA, and Benhart Vance is, oh my gosh, what's he doing?
He's still in trouble, though. Is he going to be able to get away? Alistair, oh, so much damage, but just enough to survive as Benhart Vance. And it's kind of crazy that they lost that fight with that soul. It does so much here, and now the objective bounty's going to get claimed here by the side of TA Fear. It's not over yet.
That's a big turn. TA Fear kind of unwillingly found out what they need to do. I don't really think they were trying to go for a fight in the choke, but that's exactly what they need, because Severe just hits his ultimate, he hits knockups, Alistar hits his ult. One thing that I do want to point out from earlier on is the shutdown on a BOL Bennett. 1,000 gold unfortunately went over to Dinosaur Chainsaw instead of Alistar, which I'm sure you would like. You will take that. But that could be gold that could have put them a little bit farther than would have liked to be at the moment. However, they will definitely take that fight. That 4 for 2 going in favor for them looks really, really good. Elder is in 3.5 minutes and Baron's in 4. So nothing really up for them to capitalize off of that. It was really just we need gold to keep ourselves in this game. They're only down about 2k gold now, so they're pulling themselves back in. But Buddha,
oh, Buddha,
what are you doing, man?
Buddha in a lot of trouble here. The knockup is going to land, but it is a kill. General Ziliana, though, is going to die in return. So you will take that at this point in the game. But BOL Bennett split pushing on the top side. Somebody needs to go back and stop him, and I don't know if only one member can. Nope. He does have Ignite up. He does have Flash up. You see the back starting to come through here.
Oh, attack speed.
Oh my god. The attack speed, the damage is just so much. BOL Bennett, a huge disruptor here, has a Flame Horizon as well over Severe, despite Severe playing pretty solidly. And then look at the damage on the bottom side. What Gwen does to these turrets. Everything is starting to fall apart for TA Fear. They take a good fight, but objective-wise are completely outmatched.
Passive attack speed, by the way, with Bork, Wit's End, Noon Quiver, and then 3 Hex Techs, one of them being the Soul. BOL Bennett has about 1.8 attack speed. That's not counting when he actually goes in, starts fighting. I think he goes up to about 2.3-ish. And with Bork and Wit's End, he's doing so much damage. And now with a Storm Razor as well. The sheer damage that B-Way Bennett's going to be putting out when he gets into these fights is going to be huge. This game kind of rides on the next team fight. The base is essentially completely open for TA Fear. All of their inhibs are anyway. And then mid lane is almost cracked for Go Next Gaming. So next fight, whether it's around the Elder, probably will be, or the Baron, I think that's where we're going to start seeing the end of the game. Is now a little bit of poke coming through in the mid lane. Not too much to go off of, though. It's a 3k gold lead for Go Next at the moment. TA Fear, definitely not out of it yet. The thing is, though, I mean, Buddha's going in, he's getting kills, but he's instantly dying for it. He's kind of just fading here. I don't think he wins this fight.
Well, the rest of the squad is here, and if they are able to take down B-Way Bennett, that will be huge for them. Big charm as he tries to re-engage, but the mid lane push is coming through. Overrate is here. Does have that ult available to try to interrupt multiple members.
Oh, they're stopping the backs. He's just stopping the backs.
He interrupted everybody because of the Dragon Soul. It means mid inhibitor is going to go down. The pressure continuing to make TA Fear crumble.
I'm surprised they weren't able to move down into the bot side for that. Unfortunately, I guess Ziliana wasn't pushing as fast as he probably would have liked to there. But Elder Drake in 40 seconds now, and they have cracked open the mid lane. So that means there are going to be supers coming down the mid. Someone's going to have to stop those, or else probably Ziliana just TPs to him to try to end the game. 25 seconds as everyone's taking their backs. TA going to have a slight advantage over the back situation as far as getting around the pit. However, Alistar still way in the back there, not using the portals to get
Buddha
fight. What is?
Oh, not able to take out Ben from advance, and that is bad news. Buddha's still alive, but Buddha's now going to fall. Ends up being a 1-for-1 as Dinosaur Chainsaw was able to claim him, but Dinosaur Chainsaw is in a lot of trouble. Born Ultimate coming out. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Lost that a little bit, but everything is a-okay. Dinosaur Chainsaw survives. Severe comes up huge. A lot of members on low HP, but this dragon is up. The smite is down. Buddha is not up for a long time. It's a 4v3 for right now, but B-Way Bennett is looking to change that on top of Alistair. Gets knocked up. They find Alistair stunned and dead. But B-Way Bennett, low on HP, will finally fall, but it's Overrate, able to clean the rest of the fight up. He's got a triple. Give him a quadra kill in just a moment. As you know, he's gonna chop down Severe. A quadra kill for the jungler that we doubted their Gwen pick.
If I'm not, and my mistake, I think that was the second quadra kill. Did Overrate get one in the last game as well, or is it just a triple? Remember. Either way, he's gonna be able to solo the Elder now. He's actually healing off of the Elder, off of a great fight, and yet again, I don't know what Buddha's doing. He's going in. They have Karma.
He's gonna go back
in.
in.
Pushes W. He's gonna go back in. What's gonna happen?
Oh
nope,
no! He
Spider
missed the smite. Buddha misses the smite. Unable to secure the dragon there, and it will go over to Overrate. Buddha will die for it. You have to make the hero play there. I respect it, but it's a damn shame he wasn't able to pick it up if you're a TA fan. And now the Baron going over to Go Next Gaming. And Go Next Gaming are ready after this to push the base and take a 2-1 series lead.
It's going to be Baron picked up. They do trade for a tower in the bot side. They're able to pick up the objective bounty on that one, the Winions, if you will. But looks like the rest of G&G are going to push through the top and mid. They don't really have a wave. I don't know why nobody walked top instantly after taking that Baron. But it looks like they will finally start to push that in. B-Way, the wave clear phenom on Aurelia, pushing through the bot side as well. This should be the final push of the game. I don't see any reason why this game needs to go longer than 40 minutes. We'll see how that ends up working out, though. Everything's starting to clash into the base. The Elder Drake ticking away. Luciner's Light getting absolutely chunked there. Curtain call coming through. Buddha pops the ultimate. What's he gonna do though?
Can't get in there, and
He needs to go after B-Way.
B-Way Bennett on the bottom side as well. You see Buddha getting chunked out. They're going to try to engage this 5v4 here. But B-Way Bennett on the backside. Elucidator's laid blast away by the Dragon's Breath. So is Dinosaur Chainsaw. So is Alistair. So is the rest of TA Fear. And Go Next Gaming say we're going to the next game up 2-1.
This is going to be match point for Go Next going into game number 4 here. That one was... I don't want to say it was Buddha's fault. I'm not going to say it's anyone's fault. I think Go Next Gaming played the game extraordinarily well. They took advantage of any fights they had to. But Buddha running in and just dying on repeat, like, and not playing the way the assassin's supposed to play, because apparently, I guess assassins are supposed to go in 1v5 now instead of looking for solo kills. That was not the best way to play the draft. I think TA could have come out really big there. I think they had really solid fighting, but Go Next have found their footing after game number 2, and going into game number 3, it was closer than it's been the entire series. So number 3, I want to see what changes in draft, if anything, because Gwen has stayed up 2 games in a row, and has absolutely popped off 2 games in a row.
A lot of credit to Overrate there. A gutsy pick here in this series in the finals as they enjoy a 2-1 series lead. But you and I both know those leads can evaporate in an instant fury. We're going to take a very short break. And when we return, it'll be the game 4 draft between Go Next Gaming and TA Fear. Go Next Gaming looking to become champions. TA Fear fighting for their lives. Welcome back, Blue Otter League family. It is the game 4 draft here between TA Fear and Go Next Gaming. TA Fear, after being dominant in game 1 and the first half of game 2, have found themselves down 2-1. Go Next Gaming, really, just the Gwen pick has been huge for Overrate, has turned the series on its head, but this time around, Fury, Gwen is now off the table.
Yep, Overrate gonna have to go a little bit deeper into the pool, which isn't much because Overrate has a pretty solid champ pool. So taking the Gwen away is, granted because they have to do that because of the last couple of games. But I wouldn't be surprised if Overrate pulls something else out of the hat that he just pops off on.
Varus.
TA Fear sticking with the tried and true Varus because it's worked out 3 games in a row. Why not, right? They just need something else around the Varus. Alistar has been popping off every single game. He's gone pretty much unkillable first half of every single game so far. If he gets just something better around him, he can really benefit off of that. Jhin, yet again, gotta love the Varus Jhin. Just let's watch that for 5 games in a row. Let's see what they go with next, though. I want TA Fear. I want them to have a little bit more of a go button. I was talking about this with you. I want them to pick something kind of like what Go Next are picking. Go Next are just coin flipping every fight and trying to win off of it because it's just all in. Which leaving not a whole lot of room for error. Whereas on TA Fear, they're just not, I guess, positioning right or going after the right targets, and it's really pushing them down. And finally, we're going to see a Lulu at least hovered here. I think it's about time a Lulu gets picked up.
Yeah, and with this Lulu getting selected, this means that you could play a Bruiser or a Juggernaut if you're TA Fear. If you want to give Severe something a little bit better here, something that you can work with a little bit more, or if you want to give your jungler Buddha, if you want to give him a Rengar again or something akin to that, you could. They are going to go into the Maokai here. Looks like it'll probably be in the jungle. Could go in the top lane, but Buddha deciding to opt away from what did not work last time around. It worked early on, but tried and true Maokai going to be able to get on top of that Jhin.
Yeah, if I'm honest, I think it's going to be Maokai in the jungle. It obviously can be flexing the top side because we saw the Sejuani hover right before that, and we did see Sejuani top the other game. Went very well for Severe. Not so much into the late game. But Maokai, I would hope going to the jungle as Diana gets picked up, a champion I haven't seen in quite some time. And players that are good at Diana usually escalate a game very, very quickly.
And Overrate played this in the series clinching game in the semifinals, had a great performance on it. You couple that with your Rakan knockups and charms. I mean, that ultimate, that Moonfall, just doing so much damage, causing so many problems. I really like this because it's got an easier time getting on top of targets than this Gwen did, and already 2 successful games with Gwen, so gotta give a lot of credit there. TA Fear going to respect the solo laners of Go Next Gaming. Definitely got the better of the TA Fear solo laners last game. Something that it was a pretty big surprise. The lanes had been going, one for one team, one for the other, so getting Aurelia and Jace off the table. Some pretty wise options here. At Go Next Gaming, though, I'm sure their solo laners have more in the pockets. Could see and will see that Kiana once more. That did have a lot of impact later on in the game.
I would have liked to see, I think, a Yasuo, if I'm honest, with the comp that they have right now, Rakan and Diana. I think Yasuo would have been a really good pickup for Zilliana. I respect the Kiana, though. Makes perfect sense to pick that. Went very, very well, like you said in the other game. At least into the later portion of the game when he wasn't getting destroyed under tower by Malphite. Lissandra going to be hovered and eventually picked up here. Only thing I'm not liking right now, TA Fear, not a whole lot of damage. A lot of utility, which is the opposite of what Go Next Gaming are going for. They have a lot of damage, a little bit of utility. And then, Sante hover, but it looks like it's just going to be Severe on the Ornn yet again.
I mean, I like the CC that they're bringing to the table. I like the fact that they can lock everybody down, but putting so much pressure onto Alistair's shoulders. Lissandra can do some damage, but it's typically not that much. And a lot of what went well in game 2 with that Gragas pick was because they had a composition that needed more damage. They went full damage on the Gragas. Lissandra doesn't deal nearly as much damage when she's going full damage as opposed to Gragas. So it's going to be a scenario where they just have less damage in that game, and they lost that game, right?
Yeah.
Could be it's definitely a big deal here. And it looks like Alawi is going to get locked in once more here for BY Bennett. Didn't get a W the first time around, but definitely looking to grab one the second time around. In the Ornn matchup, we saw how proficient they were. Just because TA Fear got so far ahead, we couldn't see BY Bennett pop off. We might see that this game.
Yeah, I mean, I know I said I want to see kind of a protective Varus comp. I probably would have liked some more damage somewhere else, though. I mean, it's Varus in the backline with Lulu, and then Maokai, Lissandra, Ornn just staying in front trying to CC. Kiana and Diana, even Rakan, kind of negate that, though, right? Rakan's just going to push R, run through your front line, and charm them into your back line. And then Kiana's going to dash through, be able to get to the back line. Diana's going to moonfall. So I like where they're going with it. I just am not sure how they're going to play out the execution, because GoNext Gaming are on, I would say, 5 very comfortable champions. Not to say TA Fear aren't, but GoNext Gaming have played 4 of these champions tonight, minus the Diana, which they played last week. So TA Fear pulling out 3 new champions in this draft, with the Varus and Ornn being the only constants that we've seen all night, makes me a little bit wary for them going into game number 4. I think GoNext Gaming are coming with an extreme advantage, mentally and draft-wise. I think all night, this is my favorite draft from GoNext Gaming. As much as they've made the last 2 work, I thought they were very strange, but they definitely popped off with them. And mentally coming in a 2-0, you gotta be hyped for that. You're on your match point. If you're TA Fear, you gotta be playing this game smart. So they got to pull it together, like we talked about all night so far. They need to be on their target calling. And realistically, this time, it should just be Varus saying, hey, I'm trying to kill this person. And everybody just locks them down. And that is all that needs to be done in the fights.
The good news for TA Fear is that they have plenty of CC to be able to go after these targets on GoNext Gaming that are very high priority targets, right? You can lock down the Jhin, the Kiana, the Diana, and even the Alawi, right? Plenty of CC to go around. The problem is, if you expend a CC ability on every single one of them, you're going back to the problems that you had in game 2 of target prioritization. So they're going to need to make sure that they use their CC properly on the targets, and then make sure they go after the correct target.
Exactly. It's the correct target and making sure they are all on it. You can go on the correct target, but only 2 people are going after them. That doesn't matter. Everybody else is doing damage to you. Everybody else is on someone else. I'm nervous for TA Fear, I'll be honest, but I might caster curse this like I did for GoNext Gaming in the game game number 2 where they went Gwent, and I said, hey, this is a crazy draft and there should be no reason they win this. I'm saying the same thing for TA Fear. If they win, I'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't mind being wrong about my calls on that. But if I'm making a prediction, just looking on this, I'm going to say GoNext Gaming is going to win this. Alawi, BOA Bennett has already beat Severe in lane on the Ornn. That happened in game number 1. And the only reason it faltered is because the rest of his team was very far behind. Now, GoNext Gaming have done better and better at getting better in the early game and the early mid game in games number 2 and 3. So that bodes well for the Alawi pick. So if he plays this the exact same way he did top, that's already 1 winning lane cemented right there. Bot lane, the Jhin Rakan, they have been popping off. That should be another winning lane right there. The Varus Lulu is going to be pretty heavy on the poke, but I don't know about the 2v2. It's not like we saw earlier with the Nautilus, just constantly landing those dredge lines. The jungle and mid. Kiana, I mean, we saw the way Lucid's Light played into him earlier on the Mal fight. I can't imagine it's going to be too different on the Lissandra. It's probably going to be a bit of a hard early game for him, but if we saw what we saw in game number 2, he should be able to come back from that. Jungle on the Maokai, and then Diana. We saw how Buddha played in the last game, but I think that is going to be a matter of the champion that he was on. He can't really just run forward away from his team this time around. He's just going to be an R-bot. TA Fear have a very clear-cut, concise way they want to play this game. It's all about Go Next, just trying to disrupt that as early as possible.
And we will see if Go Next Gaming is able to do so. Go Next Gaming, 1 win away from the BOL Masters Trophy. TA Fear, once again, down and out, the underdog for the rest of this series. It's been the story for them all season. A good start, and in the middle of the season, things get a little rocky, but they were able to make the playoffs. They were able to make the finals. Let's see if they have a similar story and can force a Game 5. We're going to take a very short break as we're going to load onto the Rift for Game 4. TA Fear, Go Next Gaming. We'll see you soon. Blue Otter League family. Game 4, match point here for the side of Go Next Gaming. Once again, the teams on the same sides, as Fury mentioned in Champion Select. Hasn't gone that well for TA, but have had some solid early games. Last game was the first one that they really felt a little outmatched, Fury.
Yeah, that one, like I said, was first one that Gonex really just kind of ran away with it. It was relatively close the whole way through, but Gonex, once they started finding their footing, it was just kind of all downhill there for TA. This time around, they need to work with something to pull themselves back into it. I don't know exactly what, but I think it's mainly the macro, a little bit of the micro within the team fights to actually pull themselves back in.
Yeah, we'll see how things go for the side of TA. And if you're Go Next Gaming, firmly in the driver's seat right now, you just got to get through the early part of the game, wait for Over 8 to get online with their ultimates. And if things are looking good from there and you're able to make a play or two, you will be able to coast potentially to a victory. But tons of CC on the team ambition side, like we talked about. We're going to see Buddha start up on the top side. They know that's happening. Over 8 going to follow up as well. Means that we might see some jungle fireworks, but I mean, Over 8 probably just going to farm until 6. Buddha looking for those early picks.
Yep, he's going to be going in, hopefully, for those early ganks. I want to see a lot of movement from the jungle. I think that's going to help escalate any lane that they go into, really, even if it's just to get some summers out, right? And quick question, just because I just had a stutter. What time are you at right now?
Oh, me? Oh,
yeah.
I'm at 2:05.
Okay, perfect. We're still at the same time. I sped myself up a second just to make sure we're good to go. Sorry, small technical delay for me. But yeah, right now, nothing really happening too much yet. I don't expect to see as much of a bloodbath as we have been seeing tonight in this game, just because no one's really on a hyper-aggressive carry. Pre-6 anyway. Like, Zilliana can get a lot of damage. Bot lane's probably just going to be poked for a while. Buddha on Maokai, it's going to be hard for him to gank. And then Over 8, he can gank. It's just the lanes that he has to gank into are very hard to, because B-Wave's always going to be shoving. Ben Hart's always going to be shoving. And then Zilliana will probably be shoved in, but Lucier's Light is Lysandra. And Glacial Path is just always going to be up for ganks and just be able to get away pretty easily.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see how this bot lane develops. We've seen Alistair and Dinosaur Chainsaw consistently get advantages over Benhart Vance and Bark Woof a Woo. Right now, we're seeing a level 3 come out for the side of Go Next Gaming, which you have to feel really good about. Carving out a little bit of a CS lead here, and you know, they've been on the back foot most of the games, but now on the front foot. It feels like momentum is just swelling behind Go Next Gaming.
I would hope so, right? After the past couple of games, I would hope that they have that momentum coming in, like I was talking about earlier. At least, you know, mentally, they're coming in thinking, hey, we've had a couple of really good games. Oh, B-Way getting chunked out pretty heavily there, though. Taking a lot of minion damage as well. But, yeah, coming into this one, they have to feel really good about themselves. B-Way pulling Severe in. This could be dangerous for him if he's not careful. Okay, oh my god. The tentacles just doing damage. B-Way Bennett gets a solo kill on the Severe.
Yep, and that has just been the story of the series. It's B-Way Bennett getting the better of Severe time and time again. It doesn't matter what tank you have up in the top lane. It's just, you know, aside from the Sejuani, right? It's just every game on the Ornn just has not been good for Severe, and that's got to feel bad if you're TA Fear. You have to be kind of worried.
Right, yeah, I mean, especially, I mean, as much as you want to be worried, I don't think the game, I'm going to let you talk on this one first.
Oh, okay, Over 8 looking to maybe get a kill here. If they can, it would be huge, and they do! It's going to be a 1-for-1 for right now. Over 8 getting it done in the 2v1, while General Zilliana continues to farm, and you can see Alistair again on the back foot here, forced to farm under the turret. A very odd place for him to be. He hasn't felt this in a while in this series.
And what I was going to say there is that as much as top lane is dangerous to let get ahead early on, with the new push, I do feel like mid and bot are really where the damage is coming out, really where the game is changing. And that is something to be, I think, more worried about. As much as BOL has been doing really well on the top side, I do think that a majority of games should be decided between mid and jungle. But last one, I think, is an outlier. That Aurelia was absolutely disgusting, and BOL just ran through Severe on it. Side now, a lot of poke coming through from Benhart and Bark. They're getting the best of Dinosaur Chainsaw and Alistar here. Constantly shoving in. They just have to be careful. They do have some vision behind them just in case Buddha does decide to head down to the bot side. I just don't think we'll be seeing much out of him before level 6. As Severe has now hit 6 to BOL's 6, so BOL should be 7 just ahead of him. Should be able to continue looking for these fights.
Yep, and now that Elucidator's Light level 6, there's potential. So Alistair gets there. Once Buddha gets there, they need to force some team fights, around these objectives. This dragon's still up. Again, it's a Cloud Drake, right? It's not the strongest of the early game dragons. So, there's opportunity that if Go Next Gaming wants to go get that first, they could find themselves in a little bit of trouble, right? Going after a dragon that does a lot of damage that might not mean too much to them, and then get engaged on with multiple ultimates. You see Overrate wants no part of it right now.
Yeah, I think this is our third Cloud Drake in a row that we've had first.
Oh, Elucidator's Light got stunned, but will be able to get out. You mentioned that her ability able to get her out of there in a pinch.
Did Elucidator's Light not hit the wall there? Like, he got knocked back, but I don't know if he actually got stunned against the wall. Unless he's got a bunch of tenacity, he kind of just walked away from that really easily. BOL Bennett pulling Severe's soul under the tower now. I'm going to get that fully down. A good start. But like I was saying, I think this is the first game not the first game, this is the third game that we've had Cloud Drake start. The first game was Mountain, if I'm not mistaken. So no soul on that here. I do want to see, for both of these teams, I want to see an Ocean Soul come out. I think both teams would benefit immeasurably from that. I do think TA Fear kind of need it. I think Infernal Soul would probably be the worst for them because they really only have one major damage output. But if they're able to get an Ocean, or at least a couple of them, they're going to be able to take fights so much better because of how tanky they are initially.
Oh, BOL Bennett
wow,
again.
I didn't realize he was going to die there.
Yeah, again, able to make a play happen on the top side, but it looks like Buddha may get the better of him this time around. BOL Bennett just not too much in the health department. Here's Elucidator's Light as well. We're going to look to give that over to the mid laner. A big shutdown there, but a shutdown means that you already were behind a little bit. Dinosaur Chainsaw forced the flash out and could be in a little bit of trouble. The slow coming out, the shields are strong, but the dragon going over to Go Next Gaming. We'll see the ultimate coming out from Benhart. Vance forcing them away. That means Overrate can get in. That fourth shot doesn't even matter. Overrate able to pick up the kill. It is Go Next Gaming winning everywhere.
Something I'm very happy to see there with Benhart Vance opening up that curtain call so close to the tower is that he wasn't actually within tower range. Too many times we've seen a Jhin open up curtain call under tower and just die the tower. So he was just out of tower range. Very well played by Overrate for the dive as well. I think Benhart probably would have secured that, but a kill is a kill. They're going to pick up a plate or two for themselves on top of the Drake, on top of the kill. About a 400 gold lead. Probably not as advanced as you would imagine it to be, but another fight on the dive.
Oh, that ultimate gonna land flush. Alistair gonna fall. Dinosaur Chainsaw rooted under the turret, but can they tank the turret effectively here? A lot of low health bars, but nobody nearby.
One minion left.
That wave is gonna come in very soon, and that means Dinosaur Chainsaw is in a world of trouble. They're gonna get knocked up. The polymorph coming out, and they're gonna be able to get out cleanly. Go Next Gaming's bot lane is feeling themselves.
It went from 400 to like 2K. That was a really quick gold lead that just escalated super quickly. I don't know how that happened off of just the one kill. I didn't think Dinosaur Chainsaw was worth that much gold, but that was a really good fight. Good couple of dives. BOL Bennett showing how strong he is up on the top side against Severe yet again, pushing him off the wave. He's 2 waves up at the moment. Severe doesn't have to back. He can stay there and just try to sustain back up, get gold, and then purchase. Elucidator's Light, that was a beautiful ult. Perfectly timed, and now Zileana will pay for it.
They're going to be able to get something here onto General Zileana. It is something, right? That kill goes over to Buddha. Probably would have been a little bit better on Elucidator's Light. We're going to see that Rift Herald get used in the mid lane here while Overraid is coming to cover. We're going to see the rotation coming up from Bark, Wolf, Wolf. Ooh, the shutdown going over to Elucidator's Light is very massive here. So looking to get this wave cleared out, looking for potentially a second plate. The Rakan is here. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything to Elucidator's Light while Buddha is here. So a huge infusion of gold going over to TA Fear. They responded nicely. Now only trailed by a couple hundred.
Yeah, that was a really strange fight by Overrate to take that. I don't know what he was thinking he was going to do in that 1v2 situation, but they were able to get the charge of that Rift Herald, then get a couple plates for themselves. That's going to be, what, 2 plates to 1 in the mid lane. Bot side, however, that's going to be the bigger discrepancy of 2 plates, almost 3 now, and a fight opening up as well.
A lot of damage on to Benhart Vance, and look at the damage done to this Rakan. He's got to go golden, and he's going to, oh, he gets the charm off, but here comes the ultimate out of Benhart Vance. Dinosaur Chainsaw running point to run protection here, gets chunked out pretty big. We're seeing a fight happen in the Tri-Brush as General Zileana trying to cut off Elucidator's Light from helping out. Elucidator's Light trying to make sure that Overrate and Zileana can't get in. So despite a kill going the way of TA Fear, Benhart Vance is going to get some free time on this bottom turret. May even be able to take it with General Zileana helping out as well.
Yeah, this should be a turret. You know, maybe not. I don't really think they have the DPS for it. And Overrate's not there. I think I would have liked Overrate to be there, but maybe they just don't want to share all that gold. It looks like they're going to have to wait on that. They're peeling off of it right away. Maybe they just don't want to finish it. Strange play, but overall looks like they're just going to push in the wave and
Benhart Vance
maybe
needs
take
to
it
back here.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. They're going to engage onto Buddha. The ultimate going to go down as well. They're CCing him very effectively. Zileana going to get rooted up. Going in as Overrate gets polymorphed, gets that Olaf. Look at the chunks of damage coming out. Overrate is going to live through that, but Elucidator's Light is here looking for the turnaround. Overrate is going to die to the turret. That means that Alistair is going to get that kill. So ends up being a 2 for 2, all things said and done. Maybe not, as Buddha is ignited, is ticking, the flash, the kill, the shutdown. Elucidator's Light is going to be able to claw their way out. 3 for 2 make it, and it's kills going over to Benhart Vance that are so huge.
What is he doing?
He's going in. He thought he had the Rakan to back him up. He's going to fall. Rakan can't get in there quick enough. Fury, you said it yourself. What was he doing?
I genuinely, sometimes with these plays that I'm watching, I question that this is Masters Plus. I don't know why Benhart Vance thought that was a good idea. Let's walk face first into melee range against Elucidator's Light on Lissandra, who's got 4 kills now. Had a back because Benhart Vance was waiting to back for so long, so Elucidator's Light had items. Just a bad call by Benhart Vance. I don't know if he thought that Bark was there, but Bark was like way up towards Dragon by that point, like into the Tri-Brush. Weird play overall. Good way to take advantage of that by TA Fear though. A lot of gold now on Elucidator's Light. Good gold split around the map as well. 2 kills on Varus, 2 kills on Buddha. They do have that split on the side of Go Next. 2-1 on Alawi, 3-1 on Jhin. But Overrate, 4-3, has died a couple of times now, going for some risky plays, and potentially another one coming up here as well.
Elucidator's Light gonna hop on top of that Jhin, and down he goes. Overrate might not be able to get out, but good stun from General Zileana, making sure that everybody else can get out. So they get a kill, but the top side of the map, things looking grim. It's a 30 CS lead. It's a turret for B-Way Bennett as well.
And Black Cleaver built 2,100 gold on B-Way Bennett on this back. That should surely be an item. He's not even backing. He said, screw it, I'm going to stay while they take this Drake, see what they do. He's going to continue to push. This Drake should be going over.
Overrate might be able to get in there. If he does, no, it's secured by Buddha. And now Overrate uses Dinosaur Chainsaw to get out. But Elucidator's Light is there to take him down. And Go Next Gaming has started to crumble to pieces here. TA Fear back in the game, a big dragon for them as well.
Overray is just he's doing his best Buddha impression. Why contest that 1v3? That wasn't even like soul point. That was the first Drake for TA Fear. Just give them the Infernal, go top and set up for Rift Herald. Instead, they're going to lose the Drake, potentially lose this Rift Herald as well. Everybody's starting to move up into the top side here. Alistar is taking a back. A TP down to the bot lane here from General Ziliana. Despite him having absolutely no mana, so he's going to have to back anyway. Really strange call on that. But TA Fear, it looks like Lucid's Light's going after Bark Bark.
Oh my god, he does a lot of damage too. I'm going to be able to escort him out. I've been very surprised. Elucidator's Light has had a fantastic game. He's doing so much damage. Buddha going to be the tank that this team desperately needs as well. Going the Locket of the Iron Solari. Going to make sure that he's shredding the magic resistance so Elucidator's Light can get more damage in with that Abyssal Mask. I like the direction things are going for TA Fear. They're looking a lot stronger than they were in their early game.
They really are. This one's coming up to them. Still about 1,100 gold down, but that is nothing if Go Next continue to play the way they're playing right now. We're seeing pings come up around the Rift Herald. Alistar, Severe, Buddha, Dinosaur Chainsaw already around it. Only person not there is Elucidator's Light, but he has the TP available if he needs to get into that fight. And then General Ziliana just finally took that back. Has Yumu's, a couple long swords as well with the Lucidity boots. But that Rift Herald is going to be all TA Fear.
Yep. Good job by TA Fear there. That Rift Herald can make a very big impact in this game. They are down in turrets here. So they're able to at least get some value with these outer turrets, but they're all looking fairly healthy. So it could be a little problematic here, but certainly no problems when it comes to engagement for them, right? We talked about it. Their engagement is very strong, and it looks like another similar game to game one. As long as BY Bennett does not get out of control and TA Fear is able to get an advantage before he hits that point, things should be a-okay.
Exactly. That's one of the scariest things is this Alawi being able to get into the late game because you've drafted Protect Varus, right? But how can you protect Varus if Alawi is pulling people around the map? Built Hullbreaker this time, which I'm very happy to see. So he's going to be chewing through Severe in a 1v1. However, the rest of TA Fear kind of realized that and said, hey, we're going to go 4v3 because Ziliana's in the bot side. We have Rift Herald. And a nice ultimate comes through as well. That's a solid 2 turrets, one after the other. A good investment of gold.
They get another
about
charge?
500 gold. They definitely get another charge.
Good smite. Good smite
Very
by
good
Overray.
timing.
But yeah, you said it. I mean, that was well done there by Buddha. Very heads-up play. Now, if General Ziliana gets the bottom turret here, it's not going to be nearly as good. And if BY Bennett gets the top turret, it's going to be even worse. You see these turrets falling and falling to pieces. BY Bennett's going to get this turret and get a kill if Severe doesn't get the heck out of here, man. That turret is going to fall down. And, you know, you mentioned that Hullbreaker. The reason why he couldn't build it in game one was because the map was just so bad for the side of Go Next Gaming. But this time around, despite TA Fear getting some more kills, decided that he was confident enough to go for it. And confident enough is Overray to try to get in there, has to flash out. But Rakan gonna go in, gonna land the charm, gonna take him all the way downtown. They are gonna be able to find a kill. Vance isn't able to, and Elucidator's Light is gonna full engage on him and burst him out. He does flash over the wall, but Elucidator's Light gonna flash up with him as well. It's a double kill for Alistair. Elucidator's Light, man, you just gotta hit a skill shot. Please!
Auto attack him twice.
Diving, ducking, dipping, diving, and dodging. Colin passes a Houlihan. He will finally fall. And then in the mid lane, a shutdown onto that Maokai. It's chaos around the Rift Fury.
Lucidator's Light allergic to landing skill shots. Severe gonna call out the Horn here. Gonna completely whiff on B-Wave Bennett there.
He had to clear the wave, man.
But man, that fight, it's almost like Go Next is allergic to letting B-Way just go top lane and just shove and make people move around the map because they're just taking the worst fights ever, getting caught on repeat in games now 1 and in game 4. Overray looking for fights that he doesn't need to take because he only has a proto belt and not a single amount of damage else in his kit right now. And you've got Buddha, super tanky with Dinosaur Chainsaw. I don't know what pick he thinks he's going for by going after Buddha. But it's not working. They need to stop. They need to let B-Way Bennett just push top. They all need to go bot. Hang around the Drake. Just make somebody 2 B-Way. Make 2 people go top. Because so far, Severe, as much as getting pushed out, is kind of delaying B-Way and letting his team just win on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and you see the CC coming in very clutch for TA Fear here, right? And they've done a good job making sure that Over8 can't follow up with anything. You see B-Way Bennett continuing to push on the top side, not even going to help. They're just going to take this 4v4. Buddha going to walk up to this dragon, down to about 4,000 HP, looking for a flank. General Ziliana whiffs on the ultimate, but kills Dinosaur Chainsaw, and now they're going to try to help him out, but he can't. Buddha has to walk away. The dragon still being pulled. Benhart Vance still far away, but in the top side, B-Way Bennett is on that inhibitor. The longer that TA Fear takes, the better it is. The dragon is going to go down here for the side of TA Fear, but I'm sure that GoNext Gaming doesn't really care as that top inhibitor has gone down, and now Alawi gets to cook in another lane. Oh, wait, Alistair in trouble, has to flash over the wall. Elucidator's late, looking to play Bouncer and help him out. But Buddha wants to get in there. No ult available. Here comes Severe. Call the Forge God, and they blow up Over8. And now the next target is that Rakan, who is able to go away. We see the pings on to the Baron as Benhart advances in the bot side. Can't do anything. It's B-Way Bennett and General Ziliana, the only ones who can do something. We're seeing Ziliana teleport over to that top side near that Baron.
They're not calling
just
for
wants
Baron,
to be
right?
a nuisance. They are calling for Baron. The pings are going down, Fury.
This is not a time for it. You killed Over8, sure, but you still have
B-Way Bennett's
a
on the way.
majority of everybody alive. Yeah, Ziliana's here
No,
as well.
He is.
Here
Severe's
comes
here.
B-Way, has
It's going to be a
ultimate, has
5v4.
flash.
Knock up onto B-Way Bennett. Now they're going to turn to General Ziliana. No, they're going to go on B-Way Bennett. B-Way Bennett taking a lot of damage. Getting sustained through this. And the tentacles are doing so much. Elucidator's light goes out of Zonius and goes down. It's a 2-0 for right now. The ultimate from Kiana stuns up Severe. And now they're just going to go after the soul of Severe here. Alistair may be caught. He's been rooted. Benhart Vance looking to put some damage out. Alistair's got nowhere to go. A shutdown for B-Way Bennett. And GoNext Gaming take him off the Baron and going to take it for themselves.
Incredibly suboptimal play for that Baron.
Teleport from behind. It's B-Way Bennett.
Oh my god, he's going to stop them.
B-Way Bennett. B-Way Bennett on top of Severe. Severe has nowhere to go. He's very low. He's got to try to find a way out. Dinosaur Chainsaw's going to go down. There's minions at the Nexus turret. The Nexus turret down to about half HP. Buddha trying desperately to get them out of the base, but it's only a couple members. The Baron goes down. The buff Baron minions are coming in. Buddha's in a lot of trouble, but it's Elucidator's light with plenty of damage to follow it up. General Ziliana has to run scared, and TA Fear managed to hold the line.
That was a very bad call around that Baron there. They were not healthy for it. They didn't really have the cooldowns they wanted. The back timers weren't great because they killed Over8, sure, but everybody on GoNext Gaming had just bought, and were coming right back to the fight. Worked out very, very well for them. Overall, just a big win for GoNext Gaming. You know, they trade back a couple of kills for it. That top side still cracked open. That Nexus tower took a lot of damage. Bot side tower we're showing is a sliver of health. You can breathe on that and kill it. So GoNext have a really solid way of just cracking open the rest of these structures and just looking to end the game as long as they continue to play this game right.
Things looking quite good here for the side of GoNext Gaming. The series didn't start out on the right foot for them, but something in their mind, something just snapped in game 2. I've been able to turn it around. Had a pretty damn good looking game 3. It's been solid, but this game, despite them being down in kills, despite TA Fear fighting back, it feels like GoNext Gaming not even a full step ahead of them, maybe just a half step. Things not looking so good for TA Fear, but they are still alive in this game. They still have ways to make plays here, Fury. I just don't know. I think B-Way Bennett may be a little too strong for them.
Yeah, B-Way is basically able to pull anyone around the map that he wants to. He takes out yet another turret there while the rest of his team sieges with Baron in the mid lane, but a fight potentially opening up here.
They're going to catch Over8, but look over the wall. It's Rakan. Going to cause some discourse. Going to charm up a couple members. Alistair's the target. Alistair still alive, able to fight out of this for right now. The Kiana ultimate not getting many members, but now there it is. There's a huge fight win for TA Fear. They come through and they get a 3-for-1.
That was massive for them, especially because B-Way Bennett's on the bot side here with Severe. Severe's holding his own, able to stop him a little bit from going through as he's trying to just wave clear this, but that is a huge win and exactly what they want to see, because this is what happened in game 1. B-Way Bennett was running through Severe, but the rest of his team was just faltering at every move to TA. it's been a little bit more back and forth this time around, but now Tia have a 4-kill lead, not quite there on the gold, however. And B-Way is just, he says, screw you guys, I just want this tower.
Yeah, B-Way Bennett, he's caught onto the turret here. This could be problematic. Is going to use his ultimate down. See the Lash is doing quite a bit to Buddha there. B-Way Bennett getting forced off, but here comes Elucidator's Light. The team is respawning, but is just too far away to really help out B-Way Bennett. He does have access to that hull breaker, and he's just really, really fast. He has those quickness boots, able to just walk it out.
Yeah, that would,
he was zooming,
sure
bro.
He was dead, but yeah, I didn't realize he had Swifty boots, so he is outie. Red buff getting taken by Alistar. Drake here getting started by the side of GNG. This is going to be Mountain Soul. It's going to be 2-2. Dead even on Drake's not something that I thought I'd say at all this series, and the first time this is going to happen. We are just going back and forth around the map on neutral objectives and turrets. So this is getting very dangerous for both sides, because TA Fear are still winning fights, right? So TA Fear, they win one more fight, they should be able to pull the gold back, because you have 2 minutes on Baron, 4 minutes on the next Drake. So I don't know about the next Drake, unless they want to wait till 30 to have the next fight, but knowing both of these teams, that's just not going to happen. Next fight should kind of open the map up for TA, whether it be on the Baron or on the Drake. My guess is on Baron, probably towards the top side of the map. They do need to open that up. Mid's wide open. Bot lane hasn't been cracked open yet either, but you need to be on the opposite side of wherever Alawi is, because you're not, unless you're sending 5 people after her, you're not going to do a whole lot to push in what she's already pushed in.
Absolutely correct, Gary. If they win a fight and, you know, B-Way Bennett doesn't take too much advantage of Severe, it could be A-okay. They're going to go full engagement
like
here
this?
for B-Way Bennett.
Who they're sending
they're
after
burning
him.
everything on B-Way Bennett. Finally, they root him up, but that ultimate going to come down. It's going to deal a lot of damage. They will be able to find B-Way
look at the
Bennett,
top
take him
side.
down. But yeah, Elucidator's Light on the backside falls. Zonia's had to be expended there, had their ultimate, and now it's going to be a 4v4. And you're missing probably your strongest member here. That top lane inhibitor going to fall again, and the rest of the team going to get the heck out of there with Baron coming up in about a minute.
So they kill one person at the expense of three ultimates, and they lose Elucidator's Light. So 1 for 1, and you used all of that, and you lost inhib. So GNG technically come out on top there. Now I have about a 4K gold lead. It's 3.9, I believe, something like 3.5. Excuse me.
Some major ultimates down here too, by the way.
Yeah, and
this
this
fight
fight
want to
might
make a
be
play.
open.
Yeah, they want to make a play, but they don't have the ultimates to do so. Overrate going to engage onto Buddha here, but Buddha just going to be able to drain tank everybody up for a little bit. Alistair trying to get in there as well. Overrate getting very low. General Ziliana going to stumble one member, but they're going to sequester off Ziliana, who gets rooted, who gets knocked up, who gets shut down there. And Jin going to head to the mid lane here once that inner turret.
I don't know why was Bark just standing behind that wall there.
Mark Wolf Wolf.
Looks like Ben Harvance is able to pick up a turret in the meantime.
Oh, not
They
again.
trade a kill for that. And now the Baron call. Baron call might actually be good this time though. General Liliana is not there. Alawi's on the bottom side of the map.
Get in there.
With Khan and Ben Harvance on the Jin are in the mid. Will it be a steal?
Baron
Will not.
secured for the side of TA Fear, and Overrate's gonna go down. TA Fear is back in the game.
Don't call it a comeback. They are pulling themselves back into this game. 23-17, so still very ahead in terms of the kills. Barely down in gold. It's 2K, but we've seen 2K get pulled up in one team fight. So that is by no means something to look at right now. The biggest thing to look at are 8 turrets to 2. That is the biggest issue, and they're in the mid lane, and you can't really, 29 minutes in, the last thing you really want open is the mid lane. You want side lanes open so that you can split push around the map. Nobody can really split and take down these turrets unless you're sending like 3-4 people to kill Alawi and then to take a turret there as well. But by the time you've done that, you've expended so many resources to kill her and to take a turret, because you can't just walk through mid unless you win a giant fight, that you're going to lose your side lanes. Bot lane is starting to push into blue. Top lane is being pushed by B-Way Bennett, and then they're kind of refreezing the mid. And then you have Drake in a minute. B-Way Bennett has TP available, as does Severe and Elucidator's Light. So Next fight, probably going to be around the Drake. The problem is, if they go to fight the Drake, B-Way Bennett's topside. He's pushing in your game and looking to end. So this is really risky for both teams. TA Fear need to be aware of that. They need to stop B-Way as quickly as possible. Like right now would be the time to send 5 people top, because look at the state of the game. No one's really pushed up yet. No objectives yet. Send someone, like send everybody top, kill him, and then move on to Drake. But by the time they're doing this, it's just going to be too late.
Yeah, and the big problem here is, I mean, one of these teams might overreach for this third dragon. If you're TA Fear, I mean, you don't have possession of that part of the map, right? It is sole point. It does mean that you are forced to fight around another one, but it looks like they want to take this fight here. They're pretty comfortable with having Elucidator's Light up on the top side. They're going to give Severe the ball here for this next fight, because Elucidator's Light is just better at clearing waves, but that's a lot of your damage missing. I think that could be a huge miscue here, Fury.
It definitely can. Lucius Light, I don't think has enough damage to really kill B-Way. He's going to get forced off. He has so much CC as well, but I guess Severe does as well.
Overrate.
Here comes the fight.
Oh, Alistair is just completely caught out. He's going to go down. There goes all the damage. Elucidator's Light is here, though, to try to make up for it. They are going to be able to chase down that Rakan, but it's B-Way Bennett in this fight. B-Way Bennett has actually joined the fight right now. One member down on one side. It's a double kill, but Severe could be in a little bit of trouble. It's a 4v2 right now. Let's see how things progress. B-Way Bennett still very healthy, looking to make a play onto Severe here, but B-Way Bennett has been caught out. B-Way Bennett trying to do as much damage as possible. Severe has targeted him, but everybody, the targeting, once again, the TA here targeting is just off. Benhard Vance is going to be able to get out of here without a problem. B-Way Bennett is chasing down some low health members, is going to run right into Dinosaur Chainsaw, and is going to be able to take him down. Dinosaur Chainsaw, oh no, Dinosaur Chainsaw disconnected, which is actually a big deal. That is a shame. Ultimate coming out here. Severe could go down, trying to dodge, but Severe should fall to B-Way Bennett here, and will in just a moment. Elucidator's Light. Wait, here comes another teleport coming in. B-Way Bennett able to get the kill. B-Way Bennett, the cleanup crew. Buddha is low. Buddha is down, and it's falling apart for TA Fear. Alistair, the Lone Ranger, and B-Way Bennett is going after him. The exhaust is down. Alistair's got damage to kill too, but nobody is left standing for TA Fear. It is an ace.
That should be the end of the game, potentially here. 30 seconds left on basically everybody except for Dinosaur Chainsaw. You have Overrate, Zillion, and Bark doing all this damage. That's going to be Inhib going down. They're moving on to the second Nexus turret. 20 seconds left on anybody as the Dinosaur Chainsaw try to make this stop, unable to do so. And ladies and gentlemen, Go Next Gaming are going to win Blue Otter League Masters 3-1 over TA Fear.
A fantastic series out of Go Next Gaming, and a really entertaining series throughout Fury. All 4 of these games were quite competitive. Maybe games 2, 3, and 4. I should say game 1 was a little lopsided, but yeah. Games 2, 3, and 4, man, I had a blast. It had all of the action of a 5-game series, despite it being a 3-1. TA Fear can hang their heads high, knowing that they had an incredibly good showing today.
Definitely true. I mean, surely we're getting somebody in for an interview. I don't know who. Do we have? I imagine we have the setup for that. But if Go Next has anyone that they want to throw in, go ahead and just, let us know real quick, and we can get them pulled in.
You don't have a lot of time to let us know because it's pretty late.
It is. They can get in here. We have to give them. We've given everybody an interview. So far, we're not stopping at Masters. So somebody get in here, an Overrate, or Ritzy's saying get Overrate in there. If you want Overrate in here, and I'm gonna congratulate him, but I'm gonna go ham on him for what I saw in that last game. Just get somebody in here. Just somebody DM me. I don't care who. And then I'll send you an invite to join the server.
Excellent. Well, this means we're going to take a very short break while we iron out who we're going to get for this interview, but please do not go anywhere because this is going to be a pretty entertaining interview. We're going to take that short break, and when we return, we'll have an interview from some members of Go Next Gaming. Not sure if it's 1, not sure if it's 2, probably won't be 5. Welcome back, Blue Otter League family. We have championship winning jungler Over8 with us of Go Next Gaming. Congratulations on your victory, Over8.
I appreciate it.
Well, we're going to get right into the questions because I've got a couple. I know Fury's got a couple, but the first one for me, what happened in the middle of game 2 that just snapped you guys back into it, laser focus, and helped you win that, not only that game, but games 3 and 4?
So game 2, let me go back to it real quick. I'm sorry.
No. Don't apologize.
Yeah, so game 2, that's basically we were playing for Kiana to gank, get like just basically a gank on the side. And then BOL just got so tanky that no one could deal with him, and we would just poke him down and we let Gwen scale up, and there's just nothing they could do team fight wise. Like they draft solely around their AD carry, and we figured that out after game 1, and we just kill him and the whole fight's over.
They definitely got punished for that one. They seem to be lacking a little bit of damage. Their target prioritization was a little off in some fights, and good on you and the rest of Go Next Gaming to take advantage.
Appreciate it.
And now I just want to ask, like, I don't want to call it like solo queue style, but it is kind of the drafting.
No, it is.
What is the mind behind that? Is it literally just we're gonna draft for solo queue, we're gonna draft comfort? Because there's not a lot of cohesiveness in the actual team fighting aspect of it, but you guys are kind of dispersing your eggs into every basket you possibly can. Is that just the strat? Is just try to get whoever you can as a carry, or what?
So the strat going into game 2, we realized after game 1, and my support said it. He's like, F it, we're drafting solo queue. And that's literally what we did. So we draft solo queue because, what is it, Dignitas that said it back in the day, I'm a cutie pie. If we don't know what we're doing, how can anybody else know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we just draft basically a kind of cohesive 4-man and whatever BOA wants. Last pick. So, yeah, we just tried to, we knew that they wanted to play a scaling game and let their AD carry scale, so that's why the Gwen came out so much. And we just tried to pull the Gwen into a comp, basically.
It definitely worked. I'll be honest, I was the biggest doubter during game number 2. I was very glad to be proven wrong because the Gwen game 2 and then the fact that it got through game 3 was astounding to me, and it looked even stronger game 3. So I do think the Gwen was a very good pocket pick for 2 and 3 there.
Definitely wasn't just the Gwen though. It was my whole team popped off.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, the team had a very good showing overall. That Xerath Jhin bot lane, I mean, the Xerath damage could not be understated that game. And I was having a talk with a coach friend of mine who I was messaging in between games, and he thinks that Gwen jungle could actually come back after the item changes. What say you? Is this something that you picked that was spurred on by this most recent patch, or is this something that you have just played at various times throughout various patches despite Gwen catching jungle nerfs in the past?
Definitely the latter. I've been playing Gwen for a long time, and she's really fun. But if the enemy team's just gonna play a scaling style, then you just pick Gwen, because most people don't know how to abuse the jungle matchups, anyways. Like with the how he picked game 2 or 3 when he picked Rengar. Picks Rengar, doesn't abuse the matchup, and as you can see, I was terrified because I thought he was gonna invade me. Never did.
Yeah, that was a big surprise to not see really any invades come out. I at the higher levels, obviously, you tend to see less and less invades in, these sort of matches because of how catastrophic they could be if they go wrong. But I mean, they had a couple of opportunities, and just electing to play it a different way is totally fine. But again, if you're not able to take advantage, like you mentioned, life can be pretty hard for you.
And then I just have one final question before we start closing it out here. Last time I casted you guys, it was 5 years ago during PRL, and you guys had won versus Akuma Blades in a very good fashion, pretty much underdogs then. I feel like you guys, even though you were very strong coming in out of playoffs, were kind of an underdog team as well. What do you think, or has anything changed besides Tron retiring and we're not seeing his Katarina mid anymore? Has changed within the organization, within the team? Like, what do you think is just a driving factor of the way that you guys are winning leagues?
So it's just a group of friends, basically. Like GN, just from what I understand, it's just a group of friends. You have Tron, like everyone, he wants his friends to play and have fun, so he supports his friends. Like, he's a really nice guy. He just pushes us to, win, and I mean, he just trusts us to win as well. So the organization has helped us out, with getting us in the league and supporting us through and through. Got us a manager, and yeah, I mean, definitely everyone on my team, like I said, stepped up to make sure that happened today.
Perfect. Take notes, everyone else, what it takes to be a championship here. Thank you so much, Over8. Appreciate you coming out and doing that interview. And again, congratulations on the 3-1.
Appreciate you.
All right, everybody. That is it. It was fantastic to see everybody come out, play a strong series, but Over8 getting the job done with Go Next Gaming. And ladies and gentlemen, family, that is it. I do not get to say we'll see you tomorrow or the next day for some more Blue Otter League action, because there is no Blue Otter League action left for right now. But that does not mean there will not be Blue Otter League action in the future. Not quite sure when these next leagues are going to be popping up, sprouting about, but stay tuned to the Discord, as I'm sure you will know and be notified when these leagues are coming through. But that is it for us here tonight. So for myself, for Fury, for producer Ejinx, for Over8 who came in for the interview, and to the entire Blue Otter League family, thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed all of the awesome games that we had to offer. We hope to see you next time for some more Blue Otter League action.
See you in August.